Welcome to fucking South Florida, man. How you feeling?
Nah, thanks for having me, man. You know, I fuck with Florida heavy.
Put his mic up, please, for me.
I can hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out Fred Money for making this shit happen, too.
Yeah, shout out Fred Money. That's my bro. Shout out Mook, DNA, all the artists y'all had up here representing the culture.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, hell yeah, super dope. So what we do in interviews is a little different. We usually kick it right before, you know, and chop it up a little bit. But what we do is we like to really get to know the person as the human being. You know what I mean? Not like everybody gets to know the artist. Everybody knows who Cassidy is. You'd be living under a rock if you ain't know who the fuck Cassidy was. So we like to know who the fuck who Cassidy is as a human being. Like what was it that made you this? You know what I'm saying? Like dating back all the way, like is it that your parents love music? Is it the struggles that you went through that got you, like what got you to become this?
I was born with the name Bars. Barry Adrian Reese. That's my real name. So I was born in the hip hop. It's calling me Bars since birth.
That's what's up.
And my mom and my dad used to rap before I was born. So they was already into the culture before they produced me. So while I was in the oven, you know what I'm saying? My dad was rapping, my mom was rapping, and they was listening to a bunch of hip hop. So I knew about it before I even came out. Once I did, you know what I mean, it was always around me. So as far back as I could remember, I was in love with hip hop. You know what I mean? Always rapping raps and listening to it. It's like I can't even remember when it wasn't around. Like it was there since the beginning. So
You know how
I started on in the hip hop bag, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I didn't decide that I was going to professionally do it, like take it serious and really become a rapper until the 4th grade. So
yeah,
before
that's
that,
early to know it.
Yeah, like before that, I was just playing with it, having fun. It was just like I was in the culture, but I wasn't really like an artist yet. But in the 4th grade, that's when I made the decision I'm going to be a real artist, lock in, and try to become the best.
Fire. That's early to know some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like a lot of us don't get that opportunity. Most of us figure out what the fuck we want to be when we're like in our 30s.
Man, some of us never figure it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really? Like
Yeah, that's a blessing. Like, you know what I mean? To find a lane that you really love and be able to, like, you know what I mean, lock in, stick to it, and keep the love. Like, after periods of time pass, you still love it, still got a passion for it. Yeah. That's dope.
But how did you become such a fucking barsmith? Like, I know you heard it the whole time. You heard it from your parents and shit like that. Like, did they spit bars like that made you go like that?
I think not them directly, but I think hip-hop altogether played a part in me developing my own style. Like, I was inspired by not just hip-hop artists, too, like R&B artists, like, you know what I mean, actors. Different type of people inspire me in different ways. I took little bits and pieces of what I like from them or what I think that they do dope, put it in my own pot of stew, mixed it up, came up with my own recipe, and it was original. But it was inspired off of all of the dudes that came before me and all of the people that I learned from. So I'm sure I learned from my parents because they was right there.
Hell
but
yeah.
It's not like I looked at them as being so lyrical that I had to be lyrical. I guess because I told you I decided to be a professional in the 4th grade. So you don't really got any other responsibilities. Like, I ain't have no bills. I ain't have no kids. I ain't have no job or no worries. It's like I was a super kid. So my focus was being the best at that. You know what I mean? Not really doing it for business reasons. The normal reason why you see artists get into the game is because they see other artists successful. And they like, yo, I could get money, cars, jewelry, women. Like, so that's why they want to rap. But they, like, not really passionate about it. They just passionate about the rewards. But because I started so early and I wanted to be the best and I ain't really have no obligations, I think that's what made me like lock in and really start studying and learning why people was hot. If somebody said a rap and the majority of people appreciated it, why is that? Why? Like, why do they think this is dope? Or why when I hear somebody rap, he sound a little doper than somebody else that might rap? Why is that? The average fan don't even understand why. They just go with the wave. But they don't know the science. They don't know how to break it down and explain why this person is better than this person. Or why this line right here is more difficult to write than this line. They don't understand it like that, but was my main approach, to break this shit down, the science of it, so I could fully understand it. And if I could fully understand it, like how other people understand different subjects in school, then you could become the best at it. But in order to become the best, you got to understand it.
Yeah. Absolutely. So like being the student of the game that way, what was the artist that you listened to early on that gave you that?
Everybody, we be here forever. I mean,
it's a long list.
But early on, that younger had to be like so you're talking about what year? Like what year is that? 4th grade for you? What year we in?
I don't know.
Right? We're in the 90s, right? Like early 90s?
I guess I was like 9.
But hold on.
You know what I mean? So who was popping back then?
I was like 9. It probably was like 91.
Yeah. So who was popping back then? I mean, obviously there's a lot of artists and shit like that, but you got like so you got you got the organic hip hop. Like when I look at the 90s and the early 90s, because it's gotten watered down more and more and more and more as the times have passed on. Like, and maybe it's because of the way I view it. You know, being born in '85, obviously there was something more organic about the way it started. You know what I mean? It seems like people were really doing it because they genuinely love to do it, like you were saying. Like, it ain't like people got into hip hop and said, I'm gonna make $1 million, because it wasn't like that in the beginning. It was like you're making music with from the heart, and it's like poetry on a record every time that you heard those records. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell it was real. Sure. Nowadays, it's like people try to spit out 3 songs a day. You know what I'm saying? It was doper to me when it was, you know, you got that one album, you knew it was gonna drop that one year. And that was it. That's the only time you were going to hear from that person. It was a bunch of classics that they were dropping on the album.
Yeah, I agree. But the reason why is because back then it was considered to be a fad. Like, it wasn't the focus of the business. Thought it was a fad. It was going to be, like, you know what I mean, in and out. The whole world ain't believing it at that time. So it wasn't a lot of money available. It wasn't a lot of investors willing to get into this area because it ain't seemed like it was no reason to.
The unknown.
Yeah, so that's why, you know, it wasn't no $1 million available. You ain't have no example of nobody rapping and making millions of dollars. You know what I mean? No even the people that was on that was like rap stars that you probably thought was getting the bag, it was so rare to see them, to run into them, to like put yourself in these shoes. They seemed like aliens, like back then. Like back in the day, like for you to be a rapper and on, it's like you like an alien. Like I probably never see them, probably can't relate to them. Like they like, it just seemed different. But you know, as time passed, more people started to see people from their city and people that they might have went to school with. Or, yo, I know that nigga, I seen him before. And then they started getting on and getting deals and making stuff happen. So it gave, you know, the average person more motivation to, you know what I mean, want to get into the business and want to do it. You know what I mean? And technology is what changed.
Absolutely.
Made people be able to do 3 songs now. And back then they couldn't. It's not that I think people had better work ethic back then. I think people more lazy now. That's what technology do. It make you a little more lazier. So I don't think people working as hard, but they able to get more results because of the technology.
Absolutely.
So I could go in the studio and put in 10% of the work, but might come out with 4 or 5 songs. Like, you know what I mean? Back in the day, another artist might have put in 400% of the work that you putting in, but only came out with one record, or the record ain't even done yet. When we used to record on reels, you know how difficult it was to record? Just to, like, record one verse was hard. It was difficult. You know what I mean? And as far as, like, stacking and building and making mistakes, like, 99.9% of the artists today, they don't even write. So they don't write and practice ahead of time like how artists used to have to do it. Like, you would have to write, practice the song, and have it down packed before you went to the booth, because you couldn't mess up. You couldn't say, all right, bring me back, or punch. Like, they would actually have to cut the reel and tape it back, and it was difficult if you messed up. Like, and it took not just an engineer, but wow assistants, because the engineer got to be recording you while the assistants is running the reel and doing this. So the studio budgets, it was more expensive. It was difficult to get them records done. So the only studios that was capable of doing that was charging a lot of money. You know what I mean? So just to get a record done, even a demo, was expensive. The average artist couldn't get that done. So they had to record on the karaoke or try to do it the best way possible back then. But now with all this technology, it's like people got studios right in their crib. Like, you can record right on your phone. There's so many programs and so much technology that people got advantages. So that's why they could be more lazy, not put in as much work, but still seem like they getting more work done.
And that's real, because, you know, one thing I see a lot is the artist that sits in a chair and spits his verses. You know what I'm saying? And not knocking, everybody's got to do it the way they do it. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But, like, for me, anytime I thought of somebody in the booth, they were standing, the mic's there, they're reciting their verse, the energy's there, you can feel it, it's different. You know what I mean? A lot of times now, it's just there's a computer right in front of somebody's face, they're hitting press record, and they're right here sitting, and their body language is here, and that's where that shit's coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, a lot of times you can't feel that same energy like it used to be. You felt the bounce in a lot of the records. And that's me, again. I know I could be that angry old man, you know what I mean? Oh, he's just a grumpy old man talking or not trying to respect the new artists and shit like that. But I love the new artists that do that. You know what I'm saying? I love the new artists that do have the right energy and do have the right lyrics and do have the right work ethic and do care about their craft. You know what I'm saying? So I think
if you got to just walk around the table to go grab something you want, some people lazy don't even feel like doing that. But if you do it and you get what you wanted, it might be like a little celebration, like, damn, I got up and I got it. It's like, all right, I did it. But if you had to walk miles through crazy conditions, and it's raining and it's windy and all this shit, and you like feeling like you feeling like you about to die to get there, but you eventually make it there and you got what you wanted to get. It's like the celebration, the way you gonna feel. And when they ask you about the story of how you got it, when you explain it, it's going to be way more emotional. You might get out your seat. Man, the wind was blowing. And, like, you're going to be real emotional about explaining this story because you put a lot into getting to that destination. But when somebody asks you how you walked around the table to get that water, there's no emotion. There's no story. You sitting in your seat. You like, man, I just walked around the table, got the water, you know. You in your seat because there's you ain't work hard. You ain't have to do a lot to get to where you at. And that's what I feel like a lot of artists is on. That's why you don't see no emotion, you don't see no passion, because they don't really got none. And they ain't put in the work that's required to get that energy.
And that's what I love about, like, that's why I created a podcast in a sense, right? Like, I say this often, and it is important for me, is I didn't open this and like, oh, you know what, I'm going to get a big bag of money. I got money, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? My thing was I want to have the conversations with the people and understand that part of the story. I'm the type of motherfucker that I ask the question, you know, how was that walk? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't want to know the simple side of it. Yo, how was, you know, tell me about the record that you dropped, I'm a Hustler. How did it go? You know, how did the people receive it? Well, how did you feel? Like, that shit's corny to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The most important part is, you know, a lot of people, when they think about business owners or somebody successful, it happened overnight. Everybody, because they see you. So they saw you overnight. They don't know the blood, sweat, and tears that you poured in to make all that shit happen. They don't know the work you put in when you were off camera, when nobody knew who the fuck you were to make. They didn't know you were working on this shit since 4 years old. They don't know that your parents were spitting and shit like that. They just know, oh, he dropped a hot record. He said he's got these battles. That's it. He's this. He's an overnight success story. We'll see if he flames out right away. You know what I'm saying? But there's always more to the story that people don't really get to identify with, the true artists. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what make the world interesting, though, because there's billions of people in the world and everybody in different bags. So that's what make it interesting. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure that there's a bunch of people that's LeBron James fans, right? You know what I mean? Then you got some older cats that might feel like older basketball players like Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of them might be better than LeBron. They actually got to feel the energy of Jordan playing. They know what that was like. You know what I'm saying? So they comparing it to that. So they got a different perspective.
Right.
A younger person that never seen Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar play, they came up in LeBron time and seeing how he was just dominating and how he made them feel.
Right.
So when the first person was young and people was playing on the basketball court and they make a dope shot, they like, Jordan. They calling out that because he was lit at the time. Then time passed and niggas do something crazy on the court. Bron. Like, they Bron now.
No, let's not skip Kobe, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kobe.
too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Different players at different times.
Hell yeah.
To your point, that's what makes it interesting, though, because everybody's GOAT is different. And it's interesting to hear why that's your GOAT.
But
You know?
another thing I was going to add to that is, like, different levels of understanding the game, depending on how you understand Jordan. Like, some people could break Jordan down crazy because he the best player. Like, they could tell you where he from, his childhood, how many brothers and sisters he got, his parents. They know, like, what his life like, what schools he went to, and they know he probably got cut from his high school team and, you know what I mean, grind to get back. They could tell you a bunch of stuff about him, know how much he averaged, what game, how he won this game, and they know a bunch of information because they, like, super into basketball. And then it could be somebody else that don't know none of that shit. They just like, yo, I know Jordan is that nigga. I got his first sneakers. Yeah. When I came outside with the sneakers, they was going crazy. Like, they don't really know him the same. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't got the same amount of information, but they still love him for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? So some people might dig deeper that's really into the sport, just like with rap. They might be really into rap, like, you know what I'm saying, and get really into the rap or know wow information. Some people could just be pop fans. Like, if you on my face, you got something hot, I'll fuck with it. But I don't really know that deep. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then some people just, like, you know, you got to be a mega star to get their attention because they not super into the sport. Like, some basketball fans is super basketball fans, but some of them just watch here and there.
Some just want to watch the talk shit.
They know the big stars. Like, they'll know Kobe, they'll know LeBron, they'll know Steph. They'll know the niggas that got commercials and get talked about on social media for other reasons. They'll know them. But maybe the rest of the players that start on their team, they won't know. They like, y'all know Kobe, but they don't know the center. It's like, they don't know him. They can't tell you his name. They don't know about him because they not really
a fan of the
hardcore fans. But they still matter, though. Them people that might not be hardcore fans, like I said, might have bought some Jordans. They might buy a ticket, go to the game, even though they don't know all the players. They still know it's an event. It's going to be girls there. It's lit. Might still go to after parties. Might still turn on the TV and watch games or just let it play, even though they not watching like a hardcore fan, but it's still on. So it's still support. They still matter, so I feel the same way about music. Like, everybody ain't the same and everybody ain't on the same timeline. But I guess a bunch of people matter as long as you got their attention somehow, some way from what you're doing.
Absolutely. That's a dope-ass breakdown of it, by the way.
Thank you.
That shit just that makes me sit here and think like, damn, I got to get in tune with a couple more artists and shit like that. You're somebody that has super fans.
Yeah.
Like, the people that were with you from the beginning are still with you. You know, like the ones that are still around, you got super fans. You know what I'm saying? They love the hell out of you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's super dope. Like, what is that your relationship with your fans in that aspect? Are you somebody that even like reaches back? Because that's tough. You know what I mean? You got a whole life. Like you're saying, you went from. I know you're on pretty much like a tour right now. You know, doing podcasts and radio shows and you're out there right now. People don't understand how much fucking work that shit takes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, are you able to connect with your fans at all?
Of course. Yeah, I'm able to connect with them. You know what I mean? Especially like my real loyal fans that be around, that be locked in. Yeah, I'm definitely able to connect with them.
That's dope.
Build with them. Yeah. When I'm out, I show them love.
I feel like doing this kind of stuff is part of that too. You know?
It's difficult to know, like, sometimes in this predicament, like, who is a fan or who's not. It's like everybody ain't got the same attitude. Everybody ain't the same sign. Ain't got the same confidence. Everybody don't got the same approach. And everybody look at you as an artist different. They might know you for different reasons. So the perspective that they got of you could be one way. And they might be like, man, I ain't saying nothing to Cass, man. Like, you might, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Another person might, you know, not care. Just like, yo, Cass, what's up? And another person might be like, nah, I ain't saying nothing to Cass. But the person that say, what's up? Yo, what's up, Cass? Like that. He might be like one of them pop fans that kind of know something about you, know that you lit, but don't really know you like that. He not a loyal fan. But the one that might be like, yo, I ain't gonna say nothing to Cass. He might be a loyal fan, know everything about you and can't wait to speak to you. Hope you say something to him or give him a sign that he could say something to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But how could you be able to tell the difference? If one person quiet, the other person like, yo, Cass. It's like, how would you be able to tell which one is which?
Yeah.
That's why you gotta just try to be neutral and keep it the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it has to be tough. Like as an artist, especially like the career that you've had, right? Like it can't. I think people would feel that way. Like I don't want to rush up on them too quick and shit like that. I don't want to have to deal with any consequences for shit like that. You know what I mean? It's like and the superstar level that you are. You know what I mean? It ain't that simple for people.
And you know, like Eminem, a genius, he made the song Stand.
Damn, I got my fucking shit. But what were you saying?
Yeah, you know, he made the song Stand. And I was like talking about one of his fans that was like trying to get love. And
tough.
He ain't even mean to do the boy dirty. Yeah. He caught up doing his shows. He like a star in the center. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you got to be safe. So, you know, stars be trying to keep themselves safe first. That's the main objective. So
you really feel that way? You really feel like people, that the stars understand that shit? Because I feel like a lot of stars don't understand how to keep themselves safe, and they walk around and they put themselves in shitty situations all the time, and that's why we're losing so many like amazing artists.
Nah, I think like, you know, we all got to go eventually, so everybody ain't going to stay around forever. So if you live a long enough time, you're going to see people going. You know what I mean? But I don't think they necessarily wasn't trying to be safe. Like, even some of the biggest stories that you heard about stuff happening in the industry, it wasn't like the artist was trying to put itself out there and be unsafe. They just was doing what they thought they were supposed to do, and shit happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that is the tough part, because we see a lot of artists, like, you know, I think about a PNB Rock and just sitting at a local restaurant and they catch them. You know what I'm saying? And that's a once in a lifetime talent, PNB Rock. You know what I'm saying? And people see him and they think they could one up him. You know, they could take something from him. Yeah. Just because he's a superstar, oh, he ain't shit and shit like that. You know what I mean? And I feel like your career, you know, battle rap, you talk shit. You know what I'm saying? So people want to test you. You know, so like that had to be difficult to, you know, because you're young when you're in the game. You know what I'm saying?
It's divided though. You know, in order to try to test somebody, you gotta be a certain caliber of person. Like, especially if they are. You know what I mean? Anybody, they might want to, but they're not going to jump out the window and do it. And then at the same time, while you have people that want to test you or might, you know, be leaning towards the negative side of hate, you also going to have people that want to see you live, want to see you do your thing. don't want to see nothing happen to you and got super love for you. So at the same time, you got to know that energy exists. It's all about what you want to focus on. Some people just like to focus on the negative side, so it seems like that's the only thing around. Like the whole world hating on me. Like everybody, like, because that's what you focus on. That's all you putting your mind and your attention on. But it's yin and yang. Like it's always going to be both sides. So if it's somebody that want to test you or want to see this or want to see that, is already somebody that, you know what I mean, you already proven to them. They already love you, and they going to make sure that other niggas can't test you. Or if they see somebody that tried to, they going to come to your defense. So,
was there a point in your career where you struggled with that? Like, because being young, like paying attention to the negative instead of the positive?
Yeah, I'm sure I went through, you know, different times in my life, you know what I mean, where you focused on the negative, you focused on the positive.
Especially
you
how
know,
that comment section
but
be.
from going through that from so young, I was able to learn. So I'm kind of numb to anything that's not going in the direction that I'm trying to go in, or that like I feel like it don't agree with me. I'm like numb to it. It don't affect me. That's why I'm so good at like battle rap, face-offs and stuff like that. It's like nothing nobody can say, no negative comment. It's like some insecurities in the rapper theyself. They feel like that way a little bit in themselves. So when somebody say it, it's like, oh shit, they realize it. So you feel some type of way. But if you don't got no skeletons in your closet, you don't got nothing to hide, and everything niggas saying is fake shit, then how can it really affect you? Like, you should be able to be like, yo, fuck out of here.
Right.
Like, and that's how I carry it. Plus having the information and knowing that you never going to be able to please 100% of the people. You could be Michael Jordan. You could be Kobe LeBron. You could be Michael Jackson. You could be Prince. Like, you could be like the biggest people that we ever seen in the world before, and there's still going to be people hating. You could go to the biggest artists in the world right now and look on their comments, look on their social media shit. It's going to be some people hating. Niggas saying, yo, this. Is like, it don't matter how successful, how big you do it, and how long. You can consistently do it for decade after decade after decade, and people still going to be people in the world that got negative shit to say.
It's always somebody.
Yeah, so if you focus on that, you're never going to be at peace.
That's a message just for life, famous or not. You know what I'm saying? And to your point, carrying yourself with a certain truth. So that it's like, I wish you would call me out my name, because I know it's real and I know how I'm moving. And when you got the truth on your side, nobody can really stop you. Nobody can really tell you nothing, because you know you're valid. Now, if you have those insecurities and you're really not moving right, now you got something to hide. Now you got the skeletons in the closet, and when you're exposed, you're exposed. So you're
and you don't even really got to answer back to everything, because like what I said earlier,
especially being
the same way you got haters, you got people that love you, people that know the truth. So if somebody try to spread fake information, you got a bunch of people that's going to speak up for you.
especially in the battle rap community.
And you don't got to say nothing, like, because it's already edged in stone. People already know. So the same way as some people in the world that's uninformed, certain people that got the right information too.
Right.
I mean, and you just got to focus on them, because that's your fan base. Those are the people you need to worry about. The people that got love for you and appreciate what you do, not the people that, you know, trying to knock what you do.
The casual fans. It could be about rap, and all they worry about is, but his shoes is wet. It's like, bro, what do you get out of here, man? Come on. It's interesting, though. It's interesting that you got an army of people that constantly support you. Do you check the comment section to see what's going on in there? Because that's how you can get caught up finding a whole lot of hate. You know what I'm saying? Some people ignore it completely. Some people check it just to make sure that they're on point, because people are going to be honest and really tell you about yourself. And then some people let it eat them alive.
I mean, I look at comments, but I don't look at them like how other people do. I understand energy. I know, like, how it works. I know, like, I put myself in the position of even being a fan, or even, like, trying to appreciate somebody's art and how I would look at it, too. And I know, like, if it's somebody that I totally think is trash, they super garbage, I hate the way they do everything they do, and I don't like it at all, it's like I would never take the time to go tell them that, or like go on their social media and put up, yo, I hate what you did, you so trash. It's like, if I really thought you was trash, why would I take the time?
Yeah, because you kind of gotta just look right past it. It don't matter.
Like, why would in my life, why would I take the time to want to tell you or put a negative comment? Like, cause you trash. Like, the only time I would even consider doing that if it's like a great that I know, like I love them and I want them to do something, but they not doing it. So I'm just trying to like influence them to do what I want them to do, but I really love them. So it's like, when niggas making comments negative or positive, you just know you got their attention, and that's how you win. Energy is what wins. It don't matter how they, why they, what they think. Like, that don't really matter as long as you got their attention. So, like I said, everybody a different sign, different in the yin and yang. So you can have people attention. Some people could love you while you got their attention. Some people could feel like they want to hate you while you got their attention, but you still got it. And they still gonna support. Same thing in battle rap. Like, somebody could love you and you got a battle book. And they like, oh, I love Cassidy. Yes, he got a battle book. I'm gonna get the pay-per-view. I'm gonna buy a ticket, or I'm gonna support. I'm gonna watch all the blogs he doing about it, and I'm gonna watch the face-off, and I'm gonna support. Then you got somebody like, man, I fucking hate Cassidy booking this nigga again. This nigga is trash. I gotta see this nigga lose. But they still watching all the blogs to see what you gotta say. They still watch the face-off. They still buy a ticket. They still buy a pay-per-view. They just got a different perspective. They buying it because they can't wait to see you lose. Another person can't buy it because they know you can't lose. But what difference do it make? They both supporters. They both spending their money. And you both benefiting. I mean, you benefiting off both of them.
Yeah.
So once you start looking at it like that, it get different.
Yeah, because everybody's giving you that bag. More attention, like all attention really is good attention, especially when it comes to people that are viewing what you're doing, because it's just always that
people hear the terminology like all publicity is good publicity. That's been around forever, but it's just they don't really fully understand it till you start looking at it like that, like it is, like it really is. Once you got the energy, people attention is going to be on you, and how they feel is not going to all be the same, but it don't matter because they thinking about you.
Now, me early on, like when I learned about Cassidy early on, everybody was talking about battle rap. A lot of the battles that you had weren't on camera, right? Like you had a lot of battles that, like I know the big one for me was Freeway. And so nobody really a lot of people didn't get the opportunity to see you battle everybody that you were battling, because you had a lot of battles that were for you, you know what I mean, shit that you were dealing with. What broke you into the scene of battle rap? What was the first one that was like, that one was the one? Because I'm not mistaken, right? You had most of your battles are off cam early on in the career, right?
You got to
like
think
street
about
battles, corner battles.
When I came up battling, technology was different too.
Yeah.
So, like, everybody ain't have a camera phone. So now you might see more things captured. Even if it ain't a league behind it, you'll still see evidence of it because of the technology. Like, everybody could capture everything now. But back then, like, to have a video camera that was able to capture moments was difficult. Like, it was like only a limited amount of people could even do that.
With sound.
Yeah, like, to be able to do that right back in the day, it was like you had to have real cameramen, like, you know what I'm saying, niggas that really was in that bag all the time. And it's like, that was more difficult to find. It was harder to capture. And a lot of the battles that I was in after I got a deal against other rappers that had deals and situations, it was like money involved. So it wasn't just like we battle rappers just battling. It's like, it's budgets involved. So if this was to come out, could affect the way we gonna sell these records for this artist, like, you know what I mean? So a lot of people wasn't trying to let these tapes or these recordings or all this stuff come out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you just had to be there or around, like, to really know
Yeah, to
or
really
to hear
witness
about it.
because the streets heard it. Back then, it was the streets that were talking.
But
it
like
was the actual word of mouth.
The first battle that I had that like took it to the next level that's like difficult. I was on a radio competition in my city before I got a record deal. It was called The Cypher. It was a Radio 1 station, 103.9 at the time. I think it's 100.3 the beat now. I think it's like switched the station.
Yeah.
But it was 103.9 back then, the Radio 1 station. And my manager at the time was William Hart, the lead singer of the Delphonics. That's like a legendary group. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. He just passed away not too long ago.
Man, rest in peace.
But he a legend, did a lot of writing for big artists, and like he like stamped. So he was giving me a lot of like jewels and teaching me about his ups and downs in the business, and that's how I was learning a lot. One of his sons was a radio personality, but he did like slow jams. Told me about the cypher and said, yo, you need to enter it. There's this competition where they battling. You need to call up and enter it. So I called up the radio station, got through, got on the cypher. My first night I won. After you win, you become the champion. Then people got to call up the next day to battle you. You don't know who calling up, but they know that you the champion, so they trying to beat you.
This over the phone?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
the listeners got to call into the radio and vote for who they feel is the one.
Oh yeah, those
They do the tally of all of the votes, and then they announce who won. You know what I'm saying? So it was lit. The ratings were so crazy that the power station was like suffering at this time when the cypher was coming on. It was just so lit. Everybody was tapping in.
You gotta hear this.
So I started winning that months and months at a time. Like I started winning so much, I got super popular in the city.
Yeah.
But was so unbeatable that the radio personality Zulu, he retired me and made me a radio personality to judge other people's battles. So I started doing that, got a lot of backstage passes, and at a lot of big events that the radio was throwing. So that's how I was able to start meeting people. You know what I mean? I remember being backstage. They was comparing me to Cannabis back then.
Yeah, I used to fuck with Cannabis heavy.
Yeah, seen Cannabis backstage. Went up to him like, yo, my nigga, like, I fuck with you, but niggas be comparing me to you, saying, like, they ain't had nothing like this since you. And I told niggas when I see you, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's up? Like on that type time.
Yeah.
You know, Cannabis respected because he from the same cloth, but to see me like as a kid by myself, approaching him to rap, then we start rhyming, it's like Busta Rhymes come up, then Wyclef come over. And it's like all of these big artists that I was able to meet, rhyme for, you know, build relationships with, even before I had a deal, was because of that cypher. And I was battling like 3, 4, 5 artists every night. So to say the one, it's kind of difficult.
Yeah.
And I was doing it so much.
But
And
that is it.
that's
Right
just on the radio. Back then, there was no social media for people to see like what I look like, who I am. They just hear me on the radio. So I wanted to go around and connect the dots. Like the dude from the radio is me. This is him. So I'm in the street battling now every day. Broad Island is like a location as a bus depot in the city. All of the buses meet up there. So all of the high schools from around the city, all of the kids meet up at this like one location. Bunch of like kids there every day at the same time. My high school was like right up the street. So I come there, cypher battle every day. Lock it down. Anybody that come around that rap, either rapped out there or actually seen us getting busy and rapping. It's like, it's notorious. It's like, so all of that is what built up for me to get the deal and to get hot. So I couldn't tell you like which actual one battle did it.
I mean, like you said, everybody's story is different. So that is that moment. It wasn't one battle. It was that created it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, jumping on that cypher, I think, the first time I entered that, it like changed. I was already competitive and in battle mode, but that forced me to like really get into it. And I had to like not only win the battle tonight, but then I gotta win tomorrow. Like it's another one
Yeah, it became a
tomorrow,
job.
and everybody hearing it and going
public
specifically trying to.
That had to be a lot of pressure.
Yeah, everybody trying to write their raps to say to me, to beat me, because they know I'm the champion, but I don't even know who gonna call up. So it's just like I gotta randomly respond, and they like putting together verses for me, and I'm still winning. So it's like, it was like difficult.
Yeah,
You had to be on your job. Plus, I'm in school. Still got to go to school. Still got homework. Still responsibilities. But gotta make sure I got a verse written every day. The spit on the cipher. So not only did it help me get more competitive, but it built up my work ethic. Like, you know what I'm saying? So now I just write all of the time, and it seemed like weird to the average person, but from a teenager when I first started, that is what forced me to have to work super hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that was back in the day when they had. I'm sure you remember when you were trying to record something off the radio and you had a tape, you had to press the play record, and if you ain't have no cassettes that were set to record, you had to stuff something in the top of the cassette.
Yeah, the tissue.
Yeah. To be able to put it in there.
Record.
To hit that record button. So you had the fans that were recording you organic, taking one of their mom's famous cassettes and recording over the shit that was on it just to be able to get to be able to listen to the music again. I'm talking to battle rappers the last few weeks. And something that DNA brought up, a couple of them brought up, but DNA was here yesterday, and he brought up the business side of battle rap. And he's like people don't understand that when you do a battle rap verse, you got these 3 verses that if you ever use any of that material again, you're frowned upon. In the music industry, you could take a verse and you could spit it 3,000 times and be able to liquidate off of that each time because people are listening to it over and over and over again. He goes, for battle rappers, it's tougher because that one verse, you got that one time with it. You know what I mean? You can never use that shit again. You can't go on a tour and use that verse again. That's it. It's a rap. You are the biggest battle rapper that made the mainstream hits too. What is the difference for you in your thought process of like how all that goes? Because I feel like battle rappers deserve a lot more.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It's like stand-up comedy. That's like what battle rap is. So you could watch the stand-up comedy again. Like you could rewatch it if you want and still laugh. It's not over. Like you could keep watching it, just like you could keep watching battles. But you don't never want to see that comedian go to another show after that and do them same jokes. It's over. Like I could keep watching this one, but once you did these jokes, it's over.
Magic's
like
gone.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's different from a movie. It's like you could do some shit in a movie and people keep watching it over and over again like a song. Then you could do a part 2 of the movie, maybe do some similar shit, same type of shit again, and keep doing it. But I think like battle rap more like stand-up comedy. But there's forms of that in the industry too. Like if I was to go on a podcast and or go on a radio show and they ask me to rap and I spit the rap, it's like you shouldn't put that on songs or go to another radio show and spit it. Or when DVDs was out and we was rhyming on DVDs, it's like it's one and done. You say it there, then it's over.
Exclusive.
A lot of times I even perform live. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I perform live. I do my hit records that I perform over and over again. Then the beat might stop and I just start rapping. And it'll be a verse that's just for there. And then you'll never hear it again. So I think battle rappers do get rewind value though. Like people, when you get a good battle or you say something dope, people do rewatch it.
Stick with them for life.
Yeah, people do rewatch it.
I'm sure people annoy you. They pull up and they like, yo, when you said that one bar with the, and you like, yeah, I know, I heard it. I done heard it. I've been there already. Like,
nah, that's dope though.
Yeah.
You know, knowing that somebody know your bars or
they caught the double, triple entendres. It's like, okay, it worked.
Yeah, like even me, it's some stars that you might see and you like know that they a star, like that. I know them from somewhere, but you don't remember their name, or you like, yo, I seen her in a movie with somebody, like, but you don't know their full name, you don't know what they said in the movie, you can't break them down. So if somebody could come up to you and be like, yo, Cass, you said this, it's like, that mean you super in their mind. They ain't just grazed past you. That mean they really had to lock in at one period of time.
That's true.
So that mean a lot.
Yeah, that is dope. And you had that early on. So when you got in the game, you always wanted to be a musician. At a certain point, was there like you rather have battle rap than rapped?
Well, when I first started rapping, I just, like I told you, I wanted to be the best. So it was battle rap form. I wasn't really like making music. Like music came second. Like, cause there's a lot more involved with making music. A lot more people play a part in music. You know what I'm saying? Just having bars and being nice is just you. You know what I mean? So I was more focused on that. I knew like all of the other stuff could come together once you become the best at rapping and doing what you do. You know what I mean? So in the beginning, I wasn't focused on making no music, trying to get dope at music or nothing like that. I ain't really care about music. I just cared about being nice and having the best bars. Once I got that nice, then I started to learn about making music. Like I told you, William Hart, he had another son, Khalid. Rest in peace to him. He passed away, but he was the producer. He was the one that was producing for me and recording me. And they had a studio right in his house. And this was like way back in the day, he had a studio in his house. I mean, it's normal now, but back then, it was like crazy.
Yeah.
So I was able to record and start getting like experience at making music. And that's when I started to get nice. But I still wasn't really focused on making music. I was just focused on being dope. Even when I got both of my deals, when I got my deal with Rough Riders at 17, I ain't have no music. I ain't play no demo. I just told them that I'm the best. Nobody can fuck with me. They said, let me hear something. And I started rapping right there. No beat wasn't playing.
And that's the Swiss?
No, to Rough Riders when I was 17.
Okay.
That's how I met Swiss, being signed to Rough Riders.
Okay.
And I started battling. That's how I built a relationship with Swiss. He wanted me as a solo artist because I was in a 3-man group, Larceny Family, with Rough Riders. Once we started this production company and we started working together, I needed a deal now, like with a major. So I went and had a meeting with J Records, Clive Davis. That's who I signed the deal with. Clive Davis, J Records. That was my label. But I went in J Records, had a meeting with Clive Davis and the team up there, and I ain't have no demo or no songs neither. I was with Swiss. We was together, but I ain't have no music. I just went in there and just told Clive the same thing that I told Rough Riders years before that. I'm the best. Like, no, I do everything. Like, nobody can't fuck with me. Like, and I just let them hear all different type of shit. Like, yo, I got all type of shit. Like this battle rap shit. Like if it come to battling, listen to this. Songs about the girls, listen to this. Conscious shit, listen to this. Deep shit, listen to this. This pain right here, listen to this. Like I got everything and I just was spitting it. And that's how I got the deal. And I started making songs after I got the deal. After they opened up the budgets for me to get in the studio and make music, that's when I started making the music.
How long was it before you had your hit? 'Cause it seemed like it was, from you're talking about a minute. You know what I mean? There's been these records that came through. So for me, I was younger, but it seems like the first record was a hit.
Yeah, my first single was a hit. Yeah,
and that one was
Hotel.
Hotel. That shit was.
I was on a single previous to that. It wasn't my single, but it was a Swiss Beat single, Big Business. And that was featuring Ronald Osley, Puff Daddy, Snoop Dogg, Baby, Jadakiss, Swiss, and me. Mm-hmm. So
Jadakiss,
that was like
legend. Shout out Jada.
That was like really like the real first single that I was on
track.
that had like money behind it, backing. video budgets and a bunch of big artists on it. It's like I was the only new nigga that, you know, wasn't established yet. Everybody else was like legends already.
That whole track.
So to be on a record like that, like, set it off for me. And then my next record, which was my real single with my budget, was Hotel, featuring R. Kelly.
Yeah.
That was my first single.
Out of there, gone.
Man, I tell you what, I got a 1-year-old son, and I want him to listen to the best of the best music. And I went down that R. Kelly lane the other day.
Let's go.
I whatever happened with him, you know what I'm saying? But the music, undeniable. That it's track after track.
right
That's
there.
pressure after pressure.
That remind me of when I said, you said you got a 1-year-old son. On the I'm a Hustler record, I said, my bill's coming too soon. My son gonna be too soon.
Yeah.
So he was 1 then. When I'm a Hustler dropped. Now he
Damn.
about to turn 20.
Damn.
That's crazy. That's a good timestamp. On wax.
What is his idea of what you are now? Like, how does he look at it? Because
Starting to make
like,
sense
to
of
have
that.
that superstar dad, to have that dad that has to grind hard every single day, because you're in demand.
Yeah, I think it's motivation, inspiration. You know, humans is naturally competitive. So you see a bunch of people losing around you and nobody ain't accomplished it. Yeah. You could be kind of losing, but just doing a little all right, and you'll feel like you cool because you ain't had no real examples. But you know what I'm saying? When you have examples of people doing shit, accomplishing shit, and then really putting their mind to stuff and then like executing and grinding and doing whatever it takes to get to that final destination, and then you see them get there, is motivation. And if you feel like, yo, I'm his son, I got the same genetics, I'm capable of doing the same stuff, plus I'm younger, I got an advantage, so I got to do it even bigger than him. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
And you talk about a child in the womb that's listening to some dope shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He was listening to some dope shit.
So he produced now. Cass Go Crazy with a K. He's super lit right now. He producing for a lot of artists that's popping right now. Like a lot of young, big artists.
It's fly.
A lot of people with budgets. He doing a lot of production for them.
Fire.
And he even produced one of my new singles off my new project. So he's super nice with it, man.
That's
like
a
he the
crazy
future.
feeling.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
So
Yeah, that's definitely dope. Shout out to him too.
proud of him.
Look, you thinking about it. He's like, man, Junior.
Yeah, nah, because I look at it and I'm thinking like, is he gonna take in what I'm doing? You know, talking to people.
We kind of
What is it gonna be? You know what I'm saying? Like he gets to see it. He gets to experience.
I
it.
just feel like the mother. That's why kids need both parents. 'Cause the mother is like the moon, like the magnetic force that controls. You know, like the moon controls the oceans, the water.
Ebb and flow.
Yeah, the flow of the whole flow of the earth. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the sun is like the man, the father. You know what I'm saying? And it's the energy. You know what I mean? It's the energy of the earth. Like the earth wouldn't be able to survive without the energy of the sun. You know what I mean? So
That's deep.
back in the day, our ancestors used to do what they consider praying now for the sun to come up. Because if it don't come up, it's over. Like the sun has to rise. If the sun don't rise, it's gonna be issues. Like the sun has to come up. Like, you know what I'm saying? But when you around the sun, you don't necessarily gotta talk to the sun, or you don't gotta bust it up with it. Just by the sun being out and you being around it, you're gonna feel the energy, the heat, the warmth. And you'll be able to tan, it'll be able to change your complexion or do stuff to you. So when the man, the dad, the father is around, he like the son. You think you gotta like force your kid to go this or do this or say this or what's the best thing to say? And it's like you don't really gotta do nothing. You just around, just you being there, present, is like the sun. So they're going to be able to tan, they're going to be able to feel the heat, they're going to be able to get the energy. And they'll take that and go in their own direction and make the best decision for themselves.
And that's probably the dopest parenting advice I got in my goddamn life. I'm not gonna lie, that shit was fucking dope. I'm sitting there, I can't wait to go hold Junior and be like, yeah, you got daddy by you all the time.
Facts.
That's some dope fucking
Facts. That
shit.
matter a lot, man.
That just changed my whole perspective of it. No lie. That
matter a lot.
That was dope.
It really does matter a lot because you see different instances where a man might be raised solely by the mother, and there's certain key qualities that may be missing or they may have not been exposed to, even so far to the point where they seek that in other male figures, other adult male figures. And it's not just something that you need, it's something that you almost crave. And to be a decent human being, to have both of those, the soft and the tough and the, like you said, the ebb and the flow, the night and the day, like it really does change how you end up as an adult and how you end up in general as a human being, just for perspective. Like, because I was raised with my mother, okay? My dad was around till I was about 9, but for the majority, it was my mother, very strong, independent woman, corporate woman at that. Okay. Raised me, myself, and my sister. And there's certain things growing up now, becoming a man and having been around other men, grown men and things like that, there's certain things that I wasn't exposed to as early on. You know what I mean? And like, I could easily say that I may have gotten into certain troubles or been at risk for certain things because I didn't have a male figure to kind of be like, hey, stop, cut the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like in different ways where my mother couldn't discipline me, a male figure probably would have kept me on a straighter path.
Well, if you had your real biological dad there, he wouldn't even have had to tell you to stop.
Yeah,
just him.
I would have followed suit.
Yeah, just him being around would have made you make different decisions.
100%.
Probably certain stuff, the reason why you was making certain decisions was the lack of that, that male energy. Like, you know what I mean? So
it's real.
You know, he wouldn't have necessarily had to like chastise you. Just him being around,
absolutely,
would have made you. You know what I mean? Or maybe certain adjustments that you made was like premature. Maybe you would have made it later on, but you just felt like I had to. Like, I got my mom, I got to be a man, I got to man up, I got to do more stuff now because she don't got no help. I got to be the help. But if you felt like the father was there, he was in position and she was comfortable, you would have felt more relaxed to do what you needed to do and probably would have made different decisions.
100%.
Yeah.
It's a lot of decisions I'm sure I would not have made had I known. If I made that decision, it's an ass whooping behind it. Because let's be honest, you get to a certain point where,
or just like, disappointing them,
and that as well. Both things. Because also, like, let's switch it, right? Let's flip it and switch it. When you're dating a woman, and you can kind of tell the difference if she was raised with or without both parents, right? If the father was missing or if the mother was missing, it's a difference in morals and just the things that they're willing to settle for, and just certain things are different versus having both the mother and the father in place. And no discredit to single mothers, no discredit to single fathers, of course, but it's just certain things that we don't have within us to provide like a woman can, and vice versa. It's so interesting that you said that. I keep going back to the sun and the moon because it makes a lot of sense.
That shit really was a dope-ass way to fucking put it. My brother, like my pops wasn't around. My brother was, my older brother.
Okay.
Right? Like, I didn't realize it at the time, but I was a good-ass kid. My brother left. I started going down all sorts of bad shit because I didn't have that, like, he never really had to discipline me. Like you're saying, it was never like my brother had to beat my ass or no shit like that, even though he did beat my ass a few times, but it was more or less like, yo, I ain't want to piss my brother off, or I ain't want to be a bad example to my brother. I wanted to follow in his footsteps. I wanted to be a good dude. When I caught a case in like 2010, I remember moving in with my brother, and my brother was like, they killed him because he went to the military. And he broke down crying. He was like, it's my fault that this shit happened. I was like, I didn't get that shit at that time. Like, how the fuck is it your fault? And he was like, I was that for you. You know what I'm saying? I was the one that kind of like kept you in a certain box. And I'm like, nah, I just did this shit on my own. I was gonna do this shit anyways. Like, you know what I mean? It ain't on you. It's not on you. As I grew older, I realized that when he wasn't there is when I started feeling comfortable, like, oh, I could go do this. And I'm not gonna have that because, again, to put it the way you put it, I didn't have the son around anymore. That was it. You know what I'm saying? So it was more or less like, now I'm kind of just free falling. You know what I'm saying? That's some dope ass advice right there, man. That shit just took me to a whole nother fucking galaxy.
But the higher power don't make mistakes, so by you not having your dad around, you never know like how your character was built, how you would have reacted if he was around. Right. Could be a blessing. It could be like a disadvantage in a lot of ways, but when it really count, it might make you make a different decision by not having them around. Yeah. By you getting raised by your older brother, it might make you a better father. Like, I hear you talking about your kids, how you talking about, I'm going to hold my son and I'm going to do this. Yeah. Like, you probably want to be the best father in the world because you was missing that. Absolutely. Like, you didn't get a chance to feel that. So you want to make sure that you do that for your kid. It's like mandatory for you because you was lacking it. But maybe if you had it and everything was comfortable with your family, you wouldn't feel so like, I gotta do this for my son. Like, I don't feel like that. Like,
so crazy how that works.
You know what's crazy? This is the crazy part real quick. Let me say this. Like, make sure, if y'all watching, hit that subscribe button. I feel like we're on Cassidy's podcast right now. I feel like I'm going through a therapy session right now. Like, I'm learning about life right now. This shit is dope. No lie. That's dope. I expected the interview to be dope, but not this dope. Like, I'm sitting here like, man, I got some shit to do. You know what I mean? I got to go out and work on myself and shit. Like, that's dope, man. That's dope.
Shit, we lucky he ain't smoking right now. He'd be real in the zone right now.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a feeling you're always stuck in the zone.
Trying to be.
You know what I'm saying?
It ain't trying. You really do it because watching a couple other podcasts and interviews that you've done, you're very cerebral when it comes to stuff like that. You're very conscious of the perspectives of other people around you as well. You understand that you're not the only one in the room, right? For sure. And you could put yourself, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I see you putting yourself in other people's position and explaining it to them in a way that they can understand. The way you explain that to us is in the brief moments knowing that we'll catch it in that way. Now, if you have that conversation with Landon, just understanding where he comes from, you might spit it to him in a different pace, cadence, tone, different use of language and things like that. You got to be a mastermind to do that. You got to be able to understand that we all have a limited perspective, right? We only see things with the information that we have access to. Exactly. Okay? So for you to be able to communicate that with other people, to other people, and in their language is a superpower in a lot of ways. And it definitely comes across in your raps and in your delivery, and you hit certain notes against different opponents because you know it's going to hit a certain way. And you know, okay, this dude is a different crowd and it's a different thing. And being able to do that, man, it's impressive to watch. Absolutely.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what I've been studying since the 4th grade. You know what I mean? Everybody react different. Like when you say a certain line, everybody ain't going to understand it the same. Like, so you got to figure out different ways to explain the same thing. Like, and I mean, to make different people understand.
Listen, like I'm half Dominican, half Puerto Rican, and I see like these people writing comments up here and shit like that. They keep asking, "Are you half Dominican?" They keep saying it.
Yeah, they.
You laugh like that's a common question.
Yeah, they said somebody saying his pops was Dominican. Is that true? Everybody wants to know if you're Dominican.
Yeah, I think somebody wrote that up on Wikipedia or something like that. Like one of them things about my life, I think that's where they got that from. But from my understanding, my pop not Dominican. Okay. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. As far as we know. Okay.
So was your pops and your moms around your whole life?
My mom was. My dad, not so much. Like, my real dad and my mom broke up when I was like, I don't know if it was before I was born or when I was a baby, when I was super young. But I ain't see my like biological dad a lot in my life. Like, you know what I mean? He's still around. He's still talking text. But I ain't like, he wasn't there a lot. Like, you know what I mean? I could like count on my hands like the amount of times I seen him in my life.
So when you say your dad was rapping, were you talk about your biological dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the crazy thing, too, that his whole life, he was like in the hip hop, like rapping and trying to be a star. You know what I mean? And had me. Wasn't like he didn't raise me, like he wasn't around. So it's not like I became a rapper just wanting to be like him, or, you know what I'm saying? Like just doing what I seen him do. I wasn't around him, so I ain't even realize that he was in the rap like that. I just got into it on my own, and then I became a star. And he didn't raise me, you know what I'm saying? And he rapped.
That's crazy.
Is he proud of that?
Then after I started, like, later on in my life as I got older, I started to learn about his history and how he used to rap and what he used to do. But this was already after I'm already rapping. You know what I'm saying? So it's, like, crazy how that went.
Because it makes you believe that's really in the genes. Like, there's something that in the makeup of the DNA that's it. It's there. It was written.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
It's like, it has to be. How the fuck is it that?
Yeah.
Well, he's saying it in both ways. He's saying it was basically destined to be, but the fact that his father wasn't necessarily around, it's funny that it just so happens.
That's what I'm saying. It has to be embedded. Like, it has to be somehow, some way. It has to be there. You know what I'm saying? You don't become that nice just out of nowhere, especially early on. You know what I'm saying?
And it might be I'm just thinking about how he might feel. Like, if he always wanted to be a star, pop, blow, be nice, then you have a son. Like, you know what I mean? You're not the perfect pop. Like, you're not the best pop. You're not there like how you should have been. Like that son example I gave you, I wasn't able to tan. I wasn't able to feel the heat because he wasn't around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then I still become a successful rapper and do what he always wanted to do. But he didn't have no part in that. You know what I'm saying? That make you like, damn, if I was there, he probably would have did the same thing, but I would have been a part of it. You know what I'm saying?
He would have felt like he made it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like whatever my son does, I want him to be better than me.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and if I get to witness it, that shit is fire. You know what I'm saying? To be able to witness him succeed, I think that's better than being able to feel success for myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure it's amazing.
You know what? You might feel that way if you have a hand in it. Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because it's part of your doing, it's part of your
That's what I'm
influence,
saying.
it's part of your hard work, it's part of your dedication, that's your seed. But it's like, and this happens a lot in sports, right? It's like the father-son, my pops used to play ball. But imagine if the pops wasn't around and the son still continues to play ball, except his shot is way better. And now he's having all this success, but you technically wasn't really a part of that.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard for you to be as proud.
Nah, yeah, hell yeah. That's what I'm saying.
me?
Like, to be.
It's like Steph Curry dad. Like, you know what I mean? I was there the whole time. I was bringing you to the NBA courts, and you was shooting when you was 4 or 5 years old.
Before you knew.
I was with you while you was shooting in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
all of the just you looking at the stars and I could be better than them is just natural. Like my dad in the NBA, I'm around these dudes all the time when I'm a baby. So to grow up and be the best like how he is just like it was easier because his dad was there, was able to give him the guidance and just like be that son. He don't even gotta really tell him nothing. Just having him there is like what made yeah. So, but if you was a dad that like, you know, tried to go to the NBA, you was a baller, but you never made it to the A. You never was like really, you was nice though. Like if you would have probably got an opportunity, you could have did something, but you never made it to the A, never really got successful. And then you not there for your son. And then he come up and he become a Steph Curry, like one of the best in the NBA, and he a star and he doing all of the stuff that you wish you could do.
It's hard. It's hard
It
to
might
see
make
that.
you feel like instead of like proud and like I'm a winner because my son doing it, if you're not a part of it, you might feel like I'm a loser. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how he feel, but I'm just throwing it out there.
I love how
sense.
I love how since the beginning of this interview, you always look at both sides of the fence.
Yeah.
Like it seems like you always recognize that there's another side.
But like I said, with you not having a dad and your brother raising you, similar to me. Like I had an older brother, 11 years older than me, that like raised me. Like, you know what I mean? All of the street shit that I know. Like, you know what I mean? Putting the first gun in my hand and like teaching me how to fight when I'm 4, 5, 6 years old, getting me into boxing. Got me out there training on the corner down in North Philly, hitting a speed bag and a heavy bag on the corner, hitting the mitts and looking sharp when I was just a baby. Like that's my brother that got me into all of that. Like, you know what I mean? He raised me, gave me the motivation, made me feel confident in the hood. Like, nobody could beat me. Like, you know what I mean? He gave me that. So we got some similarities with that.
He's still around?
Yeah, for sure.
He's probably, like, super proud of everything.
Yeah.
Like, that shit has to be, like, I know when my brother looks at me, like, for my brother, it's like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, when me and him get to sit down, because he lives out in Virginia and shit, so when he comes out here, we get to see each other, like, 2-3 times a year. He works hard, you know what I'm saying? And when we sit down, it's always, like, damn near emotional. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's like, damn, that's big bro. You know what I mean? And that's little bro. That's the one I raised and shit like that. He recently came out here and he was chilling with my son and he's like, it's getting late. We're getting ready to take my son home. He's like, you could stay here for a little bit longer because he's out in a hotel out in Miami working. And he said, you can stay for a little bit longer. I was like, yeah, I know, but I got to get him home. I got to make sure he's fed and shit like that. And it was like, it was emotional separation. Like, damn, I ain't going to see you for another 6-7 months.
Take your time.
Shit like that. Like, that shit is forever. That bond that you feeling like a little brother when you're with big bro is there forever. You don't feel like a superstar in that room. You feel like little bro.
All the time. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like, he super know me, man. Gave me the motivation to be a star. Like, he was the one that always gave me the encouragement. Like, always had some pot. Man, you that nigga.
That
Niggas
guy.
can't beat you. You that what? Niggas can't fuck with you. Fuck out of here. You that nigga. What? Look at you. Like, he just always giving me motivation to just feel like I'm that nigga. And he was, like, super tough. He was that nigga, and he was so much older than me that all of the niggas that was really doing shit that was holding the hood down respected me on the strength of him. And I ain't really know. I'm just a kid, just like, I'm just running the hood and don't understand why, but it's because of the old heads I got around me. You know what I'm saying? And willing to go all out, like nothing better not happen to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't know that. You just coming up. Yeah. But to feel that meant a lot. But I was saying the connection is my dad not necessarily, being there. Then I got a stepfather, the father of my little brother. I got a little brother that's 11 years younger than me. So
man, that 11 keep.
His father is still married to my mom to this day. They've been married for like 30 years or something. 30-something years or something. So he got with her when I was 11, and he been there ever since. So he was like a father figure too, even though he wasn't my real father. And in the beginning, I ain't want that relationship.
Nah,
with him.
you can't rock with that out the gate. It's a little unnatural.
It just take
first.
time. Years of him just showing that he there for my mom. He a good nigga. He was super supportive, and always had nothing but love for me, no matter how I was acting. So eventually, we bonded, and I had another son around me, and gave me an example of what it's like to really, support a family and be there and all that. So I got both sides. But what I'm saying is, it made me want to be a better dad to my kids, my sons, want to be there for them, want to be that son.
Were you able to be that with all that superstardom?
Yeah, for sure. I went through things in my life, the one time when I went to jail for that case, got in a bad accident, had amnesia.
You just came home and you got into that accident, right?
Yeah. So serious situations like that in my life might have took some time away from my sons being there like how I wanted to be. But other than that, life-changing situations, I be there all the time. You know what I'm saying? I might be on the road doing stuff, but it's not going to be days and days or weeks going by without me seeing my sons. You know what I mean? They whole life, from the beginning.
Yeah. Man, that shit, I can't let that thought process go of being the son. I can't stop thinking about it. Now when I'm hearing you say son, I'm thinking of the son. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Every time you say it, I'm thinking of the son. That shit's such a dope way.
And that's what he do, man. He can't even help himself.
He's got a fucking micro computer chip in his head that he could you could tap in to like I see a lot of people lose their train of thought. You're somebody that you could be 3 minutes past a certain point, but you're gonna go back and tie it all together in a perfect knot. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that had to really like make you what you are in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Like you could really bring a lot of shit together at the end of the day. That shit's crazy.
Definitely got the energy of somebody that's been here before.
And that it all connect to with like you know, all of the stuff that we learn, like it just all go together, man. The truth, it all connect. You know what I mean? As long as it's the truth, it's gonna all come together and connect. Right. Like, you know what I mean? So same way you need even in religion. Like, you know what I mean? Like in Christianity, you need the Son of God. That's your savior. That's the in between you and the higher power. You got to communicate through the savior, which is the Son. But it's all of the same. Our ancestor stories is all of the same. You still need the real sun, which is the actual sun to rise every day. I told you got to pray on that or the energy of the earth is over. So the same way in religion, if the Son of God ain't rise, it would have been, you know what I'm saying, it would have been a tragedy. We would have still been in sin. He wouldn't have died for our sins and all of that. Well, if the regular sun don't rise, it's going to be even quicker death. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sin might, you know, kill you at the time. Might not, you know what I mean? But if the actual sun don't rise, it's going to be over for the world even quicker. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be Armageddon even faster. So it's the same thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
We'll probably last a week.
Yeah, it's the same stories. And if the child is raised without the father, which is the son, it's the same thing. It's more difficult for them to accomplish or live out what's written for them.
Yeah, because it's always going down the wrong lane. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just continuously when you don't have that type of guidance in your life, that sun, it's like you're always running towards, you know, trying to prove something or try to get something, try to do it the right way because you don't know the example. It's not in front of you, so you're doing it this way, you're doing it this way, and it's just constant failures. But those failures could be detrimental. You know what I'm saying? Those failures could be life in prison. Those failures could be death. You know what I'm saying? It's not like your failure was you got a 92. You know what I'm saying? Your failure is actually like you might not have made it throughout that. That's just wild to think about. It really is wild to think about. But like back on the like the music shit. You got the Rough Riders, you got Swiss Beats, you got the battle rap career. That shit was. That's how a lot of people, like, obviously you got your, you know, when Mook was up here, he was talking about him and Jay Mills, how that became, like, battle rap wasn't battle rap until it came to that for him, and that's his perspective on it, right? And that's kind of when everybody was like, oh, okay, I want to see this person versus this person. I want to see this person versus this person and shit like that. You ended up making that, like, it was like there's this hit maker that could go out and battle. You had the freeway battle. What is it? What is like a battle that you had which you feel is the one that is the most notable in your career?
The freeway battle. Yeah, that's the most. I would say that's the most notable. That's what set off what we know as battle rap now, like these forms of battle rap that they do now in these leagues. That was the first example of that. You can't think of no other example of that but for that. You know what I mean? Seeing two artists face to face trying to disrespect each other. You know what I mean? No beat on. We're not trying to make music. We're not performing. It's just like real battle.
How did that actually come to be? Like, was it for some shit like a record deal? Like, you know what I mean?
What
like,
you mean, the actual freeway battle? Or
yeah, like how did how did you and him really actually get into engaged in battle that it was going to be like, I'm battling this motherfucker?
Oh, yeah, I told the story before, but I was with Swiss one day, and he like, yo, we about to go to the studio. So I go to the studio with him in the city. It's a nice studio we go in. He start working on some music. And he like, yo, this a Mary J. Blige session. He like, yo, I did a beat for her a minute ago. She ain't never put the song out, but she like it. She ready to release it. So she want me to like update the beat. So that's why I'm here to like
give it that sound.
To update the beat. So I'm like, all right, cool. So, you know, I'm in my zone on the couch, smoking in my own zone, probably thinking of bars or doing whatever I'm doing. Then all of a sudden I get hungry. So I go down, I'm like, yo, Swiss, I'm about to get the driver to take me to get something to eat. He like, all right. So I go downstairs, tell the driver, yo, take me to McDonald's. Driver like, all right, get in the car. So while I'm in the back seat driving to the McDonald's or whatever, he turned on the radio, and this Rockefeller, this when they was on the radio, they had like that legendary Hot 97 freestyle that they did. Jay-Z, everybody up there, they talking about they want to battle anybody, and they betting money, and they the hottest niggas in the world, and they wasn't talking to me, but I just felt like it at that time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I took it
what
personal.
are y'all talking about? Like, y'all talking about y'all the best and I'm here? Like, that shit just, it just was affecting me. So when I got back from McDonald's, go upstairs with my food, I go to Swiss, I'm like, man, these niggas on the radio talking crazy. Like who? Like, man, these state property niggas, they talking about they want to battle anybody and they got money to bet, and these niggas is talking crazy. He like, I'm trying to explain it to him, but you know, I heard it, he ain't hear it, but I'm just trying to explain it to him.
Yeah, he's probably like trying, no, just focus on these records.
He's in that Mary J zone too, so he's like, wait, I hear you, but
nah, he kind of, you know, I was like a little passionate about it, told him how they was talking, so he like, oh yeah, he like, but it's cool, Jay-Z about to come to the studio anyway.
Oh,
he like, shit. Yeah, he like Jay-Z on the song. The Mary song that he was updating the beat to, Jay-Z was rapping on it. So not only did he have to come update the beat, Jay-Z had to come update the verse. Yeah. So he was on his way. So I just heard them niggas on the radio, but he like, nah, Jay-Z coming to the studio anyway. So I just go sit on the couch and I'm like, oh shit. But not like in battle mode, just like I'm excited Jay-Z about to come to the studio. It's like my inspiration. Like I fuck with Jay-Z before I even got on. So like he about to come. It's like, you know what I mean? I know I got bars. He gonna respect it. I know he probably gonna be like, yo, I fuck with this nigga. Like, so it's like it's a good time. I'm like, all right, that's what's up. So now I'm not as mad about what they was doing on the radio because I know Jay-Z about to come. So like, you know what I mean? I'm in a different bag. Not too long after that, Jay-Z come in the studio. And he like, if I could remember, it's like by himself. Might have been one other person, but from what I can remember, he was like by himself. Came in the studio, started busting it up with Swiss. And I'm sitting on the couch and Swiss introduced me. Yo, this my artist Cassidy. He the hottest in the world. Like, ain't nobody fucking with the ball. So right when he said that, and I'm like happy that he introducing me like that. Like, yo, I'm about to meet Jay-Z. This lit.
Yeah. But
Jay-Z like, what? He the hottest nigga in the world. What, you ain't just hear my niggas on the radio? I got the hottest niggas in the world. This nigga ain't that.
Yeah, he was really like that?
Yeah, this nigga ain't hot. He the hottest nigga in the world. Look how little how old is you? He started talking to me like that. Like, how old is you? Like, nigga, like, you don't look even big enough for Beanie. Look how small you is. And like,
I would have been
to kill you. And
yeah.
Like, yo, what you want me to put you against my 16-year-old Kris? That's who you want to go against? And he like talking like that. So I'm like, yo, my nigga. So it went from me being mad to being happy that he coming to now he talking shit to me, so I'm back mad again. I'm thinking about all the shit they saying on the radio. I'm thinking about how he talking right now, and I'm thinking about who I am. And I'm like, yo, this nigga disrespecting me. Like, what are you talking about?
Fuck you mean?
So he keep talking about his artists and how they kill me or whatever. So I'm like, man, I will destroy any of them niggas. I don't give a fuck who you call over here. So now I'm like, got a little up my tone and all that. Got a little tone and all that. I'm a little angry. Got a little frown on my face. So he like, yeah. So he pick up the phone. And yeah, I got this little nigga in the studio talking crazy. Yeah, bring beans, bring everybody. Yeah, come to the studio. We in such and such and such. All right, holla. And hang up the phone. So I'm like, oh shit, he really called niggas.
To go down.
Like, yo, he called these niggas. Like, what the fuck? So now I'm in the couch like this. I'm gonna kill somebody tonight. Like, I'm ready to kill anybody. Like, I don't give a fuck who they pick. Like, I'm ready to kill somebody. Like, he got me fucked up. Like, this like kind of like my idol. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, inspiration. And he disrespected me. Like, I'm him. Like, I'm really him. Like, you got me fucked up. Like, so by him saying that, that's how the whole shit went. We made some phone calls, you know, Rough Riders in like Nair Studios. So they start coming. That's how the boy P.O. come with the camera. That's how we was able to capture it on footage. Because normally it wouldn't have been no camera there. Yeah. But because we knew they was coming, they called him and he had the camera. You know what I'm saying? Even when the freeway battle start, you see him. It was another producer down with Rough Riders. You see them all getting on an elevator together. Like, you know what I'm saying? To go upstairs to record it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they recording on the elevator, actually going up to record it. So that's how it went down. And then a little bit later, after everybody got in the studio, you see the door get kicked open and it's Mac, bitch. And you just see Mac come through. He looking around. He looking through the room. And then he see me. And he like, oh, shit, B from Philly. And he come shake my hand. And that's how the whole shit started. Then Jay-Z like, now, who you say you wanted to battle? I'm like, man, I ain't say I wanted to battle. I told you I kill any of these niggas. I don't give a fuck. Like, I kill any of these niggas. So now they all there, and he's still like, who you want to battle? Like, he talking shit. So I'm like, man, I'll kill any of these niggas. Like, I don't give a fuck who you want to represent your team. I don't give a fuck, man, like that on that type time.
Line them up.
So he like, after I said that and niggas heard me, all of a sudden out the side, I just hear free. Go ahead, free. Go ahead, free. And like niggas from State Property saying, go ahead, free. And I see Free start stepping out. I'm like, free? Because I'm thinking that's the last person they was going to pick. Not that he ain't dope with making music, but as far as that in and out rhyme pattern that he do, I know that's not really good for battle rap. So I'm like, yo, why they pick him? But they like, free, go ahead, free. So that's how it started. Man, I said, and that's how the shit went. It started off like that.
That's wild. That for me is like a moment like I get to be a super fan of, like, because that's how it started. You know what I mean? Like I'm able to watch that as a youngin coming up. Like that's what it was. And I didn't really.
But to give Jay-Z the benefit of the doubt, he ain't know me. Like he never. If he would have heard me and knew what I was capable of and did that, then it would have been different.
But how do you feel?
But at that time, he didn't know who I was. He didn't know what I was capable of.
That make it so much better.
So he looked like he thought he was walking them into an easy victory. Like, you know what I mean? Most niggas that look my age that's around, they would have did them dirty. Like, they would have came through and did the average nigga dirty. Like, for real. I just was special and he ain't know that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So to, like, get in that predicament, like, he put himself out there thinking he dealing with a regular nigga, ain't know how special I was. You know what I'm saying? So for that to be captured, it was dope.
How did Jay-Z feel about that shit after the battle? He say anything, or he was kind of just like,
yeah, because actually after the battle, they all left. Like the whole State Property that came after the battle was over, they all left. And then all our niggas with the cameras and everybody left. So now it's back like how it was before. Yeah, and it's just Jay-Z, Swiss, me. And now, you know, I'm on my shit because he was talking so much shit before them niggas came. Now they came and I just did them dirty. So now I'm by the booth rolling up. I even asked Mac for the backwood. That was like that kind of fucked Mac up too. It was like some little shit I did because I'm like, yo, Mac, you got wood? And I just killed this man, so he don't want to give me no wood. He want to say no. But he know he got a wood, and that's like, so he like, man, get this nigga wood, man. Like he mad as shit, like, you know what I'm saying? And that the wood I got from Beans, I'm over there rolling it up now that they gone, and I'm looking over at Jay-Z rolling up the wood I got from Beans, and I'm ready to smoke, and he like looking over, and but eventually like, all right, man, I see you. Like I doubted you, you know what I mean? I doubted you, you know what I mean? But you did your thing though, like, you know what I mean?
That's
you,
fire.
You did your thing, man. You got over, you did your thing, like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't like, you know what I mean? But he gave me respect. He showed me love, and the energy changed from when he first came in to when he was leaving.
Yeah.
You know
And you know how it go. Swiss probably got the real story. Like, y'all ain't gonna lie, homeboy nice. You know, Swiss probably got the real story. Well, meanwhile, he had a safe face with you. You know, you can't give it all out. You know how that go. That's a dope moment, though.
Hell yeah, that's a monumental moment right there.
Come on.
So like a lot of people want to see, you know, there's been a lot that's went on with you and Mook. You know what I mean? Like there's been a battle that you weren't at, and
well, sorry,
yeah.
But to add to that, in the freeway battle, if you watch it, it's a guy there. His name Boondo. You even hear DMX on one of the songs say, Boondo, got a mundo. Like, he shouting out Boondo, but he was there. And in the video, Jay-Z over there, he had on, like, a skelly, like a tan skelly. But Boondo over there talking to him the whole time, telling him, like, yo, before the battle started, he like, man, I don't think you know what you did. This nigga is nice. He's going to destroy your niggas. Like, he's telling them. And that's when, like, you know, probably a little behind-the-scene bets started happening, shit started happening. But Boondo, you can even see in the video, like, if I watch it with you, I'll point him out, and you can see Boondo talking to him, popping shit, laughing when I'm going crazy.
I told you.
Did you get a bag from that? Because they're talking all that shit on the radio about the money. Did you get a bag from it, or they were like, oh no, not today. Today ain't the day we was giving the bag. We weren't expecting this.
Nah, because I ain't make no bets. I was willing to bet. Even in there, you see Freeway like, you want to bet? You want to bet? I'm like, nigga, we could bet. We could do whatever you want to do. You ain't fucking with me. But I ain't get to make no bets. They probably made some bets behind the scene, but we ain't actually bet.
That's fire, though.
But there's been other battles, like Busta Rhymes called me through a studio before. And shout out to DJ Envy with the Breakfast Club. But he had an artist back in the day that he was, like, really passionate about, believed in. And he bought him. Busta called me like, yo, I got some ball coming through, talk shit. It's like Rod Digger, the whole team was there. And I came through the studio, then Envy showed up with his artist, and we battled.
Poor Envy.
It wasn't caught on video, but Busta actually took the microphone from out the booth and brought it in the room and recorded the audio. Okay. So it's an audio of it, but I don't know if it got destroyed. I think it was like bad for business, so they got rid of the audio.
So it sounded like you won.
I just brought up this time to say, like, Busta actually bet. Like, it was a bet. And Busta actually put up the money for me to come through his studio and bet. And after Busta won the bet, he gave me all the money. He gave me the money he won and the money that he put up to bet for coming through to do that. So it's like, you know, and that was big money, man. It was like thousands and thousands of dollars, like, back then, the battle that he gave me. So it's like people wasn't even getting $1 back then for battling, and they was pulling me out the studios to battle for bags. So
put your money on him. Him. That's the one.
So the freeway battle, I ain't actually bet, and nobody ain't give me no.
So let's run this back right here, right behind you on the screen.
Wait a minute.
Bring that back a second. There you go. This is it right here.
Wait a minute.
That's the elevator ride right here in the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. You can hear it.
We got to go upstairs for the real battle.
Oh,
fucking battle. First one, a real battle, man.
That's elevator and shit.
You know my man Teflon Don.
Yeah, that's right.
Teflon the Don, that's the producer that was down. He did a lot of crazy shit.
So whatever, tell me something.
Nah, man. Pop, Spanish, reggae, you know.
I'll show you how biscuit tastes. Trash bag, sticky tape, man. Pick a lake.
Rest in peace to Ice Pick too. He passed away. You know, Kiss put an album
like
out about
a boring
him.
movie. I'm tired of niggas screaming they drove a .6 range. Well, I need 6 O's, dot pocket change. I'ma stay in the shop, chopping the cane, till it look like niggas play hockey.
So that's
on my
Jay-Z and the
chain.
beanie
I'll
over there?
run in your spot
The
with a
tan joint?
stocking on my face, cocked
Like the
in.
Timberland
Pop
color
by
behind it?
mistake, I'm sloppy with the 8. Listen, man, I had you
Yeah, I
tied
seen
to
it
your
behind-
bed.
behind
you
you,
play
right?
dumb till
Oh,
some
okay.
inside of your head. Off the side of the bridge on some Nino shit. I hold dice and pull metal on some casino shit. Niggas gamble with their life on some hero shit and get a fucking scarred face on some Pacino shit. Now I might not know it all, but be know this, when there's war, y'all crumble like Dorito chips. I pass your strip every day. I don't see no bricks, man. I'm a pit. You a pussy, so we don't mix. Go ahead, spit out your jewels. I love that they froze up. You gonna do the same thing when Cass put them foes up. Take them all off and race off like I drove up. This year, raw 16s, nigga, no cut.
Yeah, you was shutting the room up.
Come on. Flabbergasted, can't even think of his
You
name.
ain't fucking with Free for 2 reasons. My 2 kids, 2 mouths to feed. I blow kids, pause. Shoot niggas out they trees. Brody niggas, y'all get pushed right off your block. Freeway, when you see me, call the cops. Like I'm Pop. You ain't ready to die, then don't ride. All my niggas know that you're dying and don't cry. No weapon, Brody, you're 9 and won't die. Hood niggas, Brother Samir and Little Ant. Middle by the summer, leave you dead where you stand. If you thought you was fucking with Freeway, you can't. C-A-N, apostrophe
Said what?
T. Tiger Woods, nigga, pop at your T.
Oh,
then
okay,
I hop
yeah,
in
yeah.
the D. E-L-T-A 88, move yay from state to state. Stuff mixed fast, scrape the plate. No fist fight, keep whack, scrape your face. Like I got 10 men and forever to go. Ride with my man, it's whatever with O. Calico in my hand, feel like I got forever to blow.
Hit the
It's
mic
just
so they can hear you.
shit that I'm happy
Hit the
to
mic so they
know.
can hear you.
Take don't sell, still
hard.
get a stack for an O. 5 for a half, advance money, brick in the tuck. I'm not dumb, no hits and I'm stuck.
Okay.
But believe me, I'm a gun, no hits and you fuck. In your
This shit
house
is
Sunday
crazy.
like
This shit is-
NFL and Freeway.
this shit for me, you
Don't
can
fuck
go ahead,
around
you
with
can put that down, 'cause that's what I wanted to,
believe me, you get chilly when you win that.
That's history. Like that's part of hip hop history right there. Like if you really want to understand the industry, that's part of it right there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you gotta check that out if you trying to reminisce on the history of hip hop. That's a big part.
That's a good one. In the stew, no fans, no crowd, no. This is us.
But
And
it
everybody
was
in
a
that-
crowd because it was they had everybody up against you there. So you're not everybody up against you, but like that's their people because they brought their people to the room pretty much, right? But you said the Rough
No.
Riders.
Yeah, we got our people in there too.
Okay.
Like Bundo, Pick, like all of them dudes on the side. They is all like our peoples that we call through the studio.
So you're a lot younger than him at that point, then, right? Because the way you were hovering over him, talking your shit right there, seems like that was your room.
Freeway.
Yeah.
I don't know how old Free is. I think he around like.
Because the
same
way
age.
he was talking is like you're
I think I might be a little younger than Free.
he was talking like you're a small dude, you ain't shit, you're just a little boy. You know what I mean? Jay's talking that shit. I'm gonna bring the big boys to come get you. But you seem like the big boy in there, the way you were going at it.
I was, man. That's how I said. Like Jay-Z just wasn't familiar with me. You know what I'm saying? I think if he would have knew who I was, he would have never did that.
Even better. Y'all gonna find out.
But I think that was that's something that was big for both of your careers. You know what I'm saying?
I talked to Dame too, like Dame Dash. He's super cool. We had some conversations after that. He let me know if he was there, he would have never let that go down. Like, you know what I'm saying? He like,
He
nah, I
a
would have never
mastermind,
did that.
yeah.
Yeah, budgets open for him. We were working on his album. Like, that wasn't a good decision. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it is what it is.
That's the dope shit. Like I don't know if you're a fan of boxing, but we just saw Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis go at it, right?
Yeah.
And like, it's dope to see, you know, people say like I'm willing to risk it. You know, like they both got that 0 on their record, but they're willing to risk it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what y'all did in there. He's like, all right, fuck it, I'm willing to risk it. Like y'all talking that shit. All right, we'll see what time it is.
You know, we both had a lot to lose too, man, and was like not even in position yet, just fighting to try to get in position. So to do that at that time, it meant a lot, man.
That's a
So
moment.
I was
The first Freeway battle, a mixtape DJ got a hold of it because it was on VHS tape. That's how old it was before DVDs and all that was on VHS tape. and it started going around. People started seeing it. That was in the industry, but you had to be like connected. But for the internet and everything, so people couldn't see it. Then the mixtape DJ got a hold of it, took off the audio, and just put it on the mixtape. The Freeway Battle, just the audio. So for years, people knew about the Freeway Battle or heard about it, but only heard the audio. You know what I'm saying? That was out on the mixtape. So people was just riding around playing it like it was a song and just learning the words like that because it was just an audio. And the average person in the hood ain't have access to the VHS tape. It ain't happened until like years later when YouTube started popping and the internet popped off when they actually got to see the video.
Yeah, because YouTube wasn't even a thing like that. Like
Yeah, it
used to
wasn't
be
out.
like you had to go to a website and play the video and wait for that. You know what I mean? Like it took 40 minutes for the video to get 5 minutes of it. That you had to wait for the rest of this shit to load. You know, somebody picks up the phone in the house and shit goes off.
Facts.
You know what I mean? The old internet days, the AOL, Net Zero, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So like but that was so. Like, even as a fan, to be able to watch that shit, you had to literally sit there and wait for this shit to load.
Yeah.
You were really waiting for that moment. Like, yo, I got to see this. Because, again, like, I did music when I was younger. And that shit was the inspiration to it. Like, damn, they're doing it like this. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of shit that's going on in the industry. I want to be a part of that one day. You know what I'm saying? I think music is a vital part to everyone's life.
But even looking back at it after all of these years, just to know that Swiss Beats, Jay-Z, Beanie Siegel, Freeway, Oskino, Kris, Cassidy, like all of these people was just in the room at the same time and niggas is battling and it's just like, even looking back on it now, it's still like if I wasn't there, I would have wanted to be there. Like damn, that shit crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's the real energy. And you know what I mean? That's what these leagues been trying to do, like duplicate that type of energy, like give people that feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shout out to the OG cameraman, like you said, that was there to capture that moment.
Hell yeah.
Because it wasn't on your hip, on the phone, instant transmission, upload and all that. It had to really be captured on tape. It had to, like, that's a hip hop moment. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like people rapping on their front porch and it's a selfie cam and they got Twitter and what's the other one? Triller, and they make little videos off that and kind of stuff. That was real. Like, you had to be there in the moment. Like you said, the way you caught that moment, it was not set up. It was not fabricated. It was barely even planned. You just happened to be here, there. The timing of everything was just.
That's a dope ass story,
bro. You can't create that. You couldn't try to make that moment happen. You had to be there, type shit.
Facts.
And thank God it was captured on camera. And thank God somebody had the audio
That's wild,
working.
though. He hears the radio
Yo,
in the whip, and he's like, "Nah, they're talking crazy."
that's where you
And
get
then-
them
and then
true
it-
fans, man. The
Facts.
ones that saw you doing that, fast forward to R. Kelly Hotel, and he got the mask on, ladies, and all.
Okay,
Crazy.
Chris.
Yo.
Okay, Chris Kelly.
Nah, relax with that. You gotta these days you gotta relax with that.
Yeah,
But,
word. But yo, again, that's an artist. Like,
Nah,
like
but
what
that's
was it
dope,
like
man.
working with him when you got
Fire.
that though? Because fuck all the other shit that goes on about R. Kelly and shit like that. Like, what was it like getting in the studio with that motherfucker? Because that's the legend right there. Was it something that you were both in the studio at the same time when that record came out, or was it he laid his hook and you laid your verse?
It was a crazy time, man. It's like I was working on my first album. Finally got budgets open. They spending money on me. They focused on me now. It's like my time. Got a lot of records done from the first project, but it's like time to get the single. You know what I mean? And they naming a lot of like people that might be dope for me to collaborate with. You know what I mean? But when they brought up R. Kelly, I'm like, R. Kelly? Like, it didn't even seem like,
how we go? Yeah.
like, I'm just new, like, you know what I mean? And I knew it was like we was capable of doing big stuff because, like I told you, the Big Business record, I'm already on shit with Puff and Snoop and Kiss and Ron Osley and Baby, and it's like, so I knew it was possible for big stuff to happen, but it's just like R. Kelly, my first single. Like, it ain't even Swiss single. It's like my first single, R. Kelly on it. So just when we first brought it up, it was like crazy. But when they made it happen, they said we about to fly to Chicago right now and to go get with them, it's like, damn, it's like surreal.
Right.
I mean, and when we get in there, get to the studio, go in the room, I meet him. Yo, what's up? Swiss introduces or whatever. And a beat CD. Like, he had a beat CD. And he like told the engineer to put it on. It was like a bunch of just different beats. But immediately when the beat dropped, like every time, as soon as the beat dropped, he don't even listen to the beat. He don't even zone out. Like, as soon as the beat dropped, he starts singing melodies. And I'm telling you, like, every time, the shit sound like hits. Like, not just, not play singing, like some bullshit. I'm talking about, like, topics, melodies.
Yeah, so he wasn't just humming.
Dope shit, every beat. Like, every beat. Every time the beat change, he'll just sing a whole nother song that sound like it was already done. I'm like, yo, this nigga is a... yo, with that shit, he like a genius, man. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Then we just told him the concept. Like, yo, we got this hotel. We want to do a hotel like this, like that, blah. And we played the beat. Soon as the beat come on, he just start going crazy, man.
Let's go. Yeah,
like, start singing all of these different... Yo, my nigga, he did, like, so many different hotel hooks that was all fire.
I would
like,
love to hear those.
We just had to pick a part that we thought was the one. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he did so much shit, man. Like, just not even writing, not even thinking, just, like, off like that.
Sonic just
crazy. Even like the hotel remix. It come on, so many ladies, 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 ladies. We're vacationing somewhere on an island.
Yeah, we got Cassidy Kelly in the building now.
Like, that part, though, that's all done in the same session. Like we had that hook and more stuff, more hooks already in that one session. You went so crazy. So you had parts for the real song, parts for the bridge, parts for the remix. You had so many different parts that you could use out of what he just did. So I was just so impressed how he just did that shit so easy. Like, it wasn't nothing and just was making, like, crazy hits. So that was motivation. I'm like, man, I gotta get on my shit.
He had to be equally impressed with what
we
you
left. We left the studio. Well, before we left, Twista came through the studio.
Come on.
And I remember Twista was there. Me and Twista, we like ciphered, spit some verses.
That's fun.
For Kels.
That's fun.
And then I left. I went back to my hotel, actually, with Swiss. And we was in the hotel room. Now we been had the beat. Now we got the hook. And we got all of this, like, stuff that R. Kelly did to pick from. And now we know how it is going to be. So now I'm just I got the beat. And now I'm just... gotta write the verses, and I'm actually writing it in the hotel.
So you looking at the ice machine, you walking through the lobby, you're like, okay, I know.
You know what I mean?
But let me ask you, that's your first hit, you said, right? At some point, and this happens to anybody and everybody that catches some stroke of fame, if it's 15 minutes or if it's longer and bigger than that, which we all hope for, right? At some point, did you ever have a feeling that you had, like, what they call imposter syndrome? Like, yo, I really just killed some shit with R. Kelly. Like, before you go to bed at night, say your prayer or however you rock, you know, whatever your routine is, everybody kind of has, like, yo, I really just did that. I really just battled free in front of Jay, in front of Swiss, in front of At any point, did you ever feel that? Or was it, I earned this and I'm supposed to be here? And I
both.
know, you know what I mean? Like,
I think it was both. It's like I called my first album Split Personality, and I feel like I really did. So it's like, in ways, like, you happy, like, yo, I just battled Free Jay-Z here. Even how I told you, like, that's my idol, and I wanted it to go a different way. But I'm still super competitive, and I told you why I want to rap is to be the best. So that don't leave neither. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's like a thin line, you know what I mean?
It's like, that's cool, but I got more work to do.
So while stuff was happening, I was like excited that it was happening, but still believing in myself and know that, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like I was worth the world, like, you know what I mean? And I felt like a lot of things wasn't going right too at the same time.
I see.
So to the average person, it's like, yo, you was nobody, now you're a star. You got R. Kelly. They just looking at the good parts, not understanding the stuff that could be, you know, causing me issues. Right. Because you want to maintain that energy and you want to be able to understand it, and you want to get recognition for the work that you putting in and not everybody else to get it. So when that was happening, it's like different feelings. Like, you know what I'm saying? You feel good, but at the same time, you focusing on how to maintain all of the things that they making you do and what's required.
Right.
You know
You still got to show up.
And, you know, you got to follow up. So the timeline be off. So when people probably vibe in the hotel, you already did it. You already shot the video. You already put in the work. Now you might be on a time where it's like, what's the next single, or what's this, or how you going to do this, or how we going to get this bigger? It's a lot of things that you could be focused on that where you can't, like, enjoy it like it's just party time and I'm just enjoying the success. And plus the reasons why I wanted to do it was different too. Like, if I just wanted to do it for a bag or attention or success, then I would have probably accomplished my goal. I would have been able to maybe celebrate. But I wanted to be the best. So putting that song out, it was a hit and it was generating attention, but that didn't make me the best. So I still felt like I had a lot of work to do.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
I talk about that. I mentioned it one time before on here, and it's like making it to the league in the NFL, right? It's like, man, I've been hustling all my life, middle school, pee-wee, high school. I make it to college. I go through college, and I make it to the league, but I still got to show up every Sunday and play ball. You know, yeah, I made it to the league, but nah, bro. Now I got to show up. You know, I worked my whole life to get to this point, but this point isn't where it is. I still got to show up. I'm still trying to get to the Super Bowl. I'm still trying to show out and make my career, you know, something worth mentioning, right?
Or if you a rookie and you go to a good team and your rookie year, you make the All-Star game and your stats is super up and your team win the chip. And your team win the chip while you a rookie. And everybody like, yo, you lit, you won the chip, it's so up. But they don't realize that you a rookie and you had a rookie contract and you ain't even getting paid right. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, it's like, damn, you thinking about, yo, I just want a chip. I'm nice. I ain't getting the type of money I'm supposed to get. I got to go to this renegotiation to make sure I could get this right money. And this is like a lot more on your mind than a fan. Like, yo, you lit. Like,
you did it.
Yeah.
It's done for you. You did it.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, this ain't it.
And it depends on what's the reason why you want to play. What is your final destination in your mind? Like, some people might just be to get to the NBA. Like, I was watching J.R. Smith documentary the other day. And he was saying that, like, his dream was just to get to the A. Just to play, like, on that level and be a pro. And, you know what I mean? That was his dream.
Right.
So he went to the A. His dream came true. And not only did he went to the A, he went to the chip. He did, like, wild shit. So it's like, wow, extra shit that he ain't even say was his dream that he accomplished.
Right.
But people might look at his career and might not feel as though it's the best when he accomplished what he wanted to accomplish.
That's true, too.
You might see somebody like LeBron that early in his life they feel like he did it all. But you see him still going out there balling now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Got a career, broke all type of records. He could just fall back right now, but he's still going out there playing all the time because his final destination might be something different.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I guess it all depends on you and what you really in it for.
What you really in it for? Ain't that what the fuck it's all about? I was talking this with my business partners today. He's like, you know, I'm in insurance. I got an insurance company. And I'm talking to my boy, and we looking at these other corporate companies that's like 1,000 employees, 15,000 employees. And he asked me today, we just in the car driving. And today, as a blessing, a subtle flex, we helped one of our employees purchase a vehicle today, which is like a big step for us as business owners.
That's dope.
Right?
That's dope.
Really
Congrats
dope
on that,
shit.
too.
Really cool shit. Stuff that I never thought I could be able to do for myself type, let alone for somebody else. But anyways, and he's talking to me about these $1 million companies, and he's like, I just wonder how do they have goals that are so big? Our goal was to do this, but this is like a flicker in the light to what the $1 million corporations and companies are doing. He's like, I just wonder how people have dreams that are so big. How do you fathom that and accomplish that and pursue that and even think that that's possible for you? You know, like we barely thought we could do this. This is a big milestone for us, but for J.R. Smith, it might, you know, it's just levels to shit. It's different.
Plus what you was exposed to. So what y'all was available to, like to accomplish what y'all wanted to accomplish was a big thing. It was like damn near impossible. So y'all made it happen. But if y'all have kids, y'all keep this going on, y'all keep this business going, and y'all become even more successful. Y'all might not be as big as them companies that got 15,000 employees, but even if y'all make it to the next level that y'all trying to make it to, whoever come after y'all kids, y'all descendants, they not going to feel like they just going to want to help somebody get a car like you said. That's an accomplishment for you. But if you already made that accomplishment and you tell them,
The bar
and
has
they
been
don't
set.
see that's not an accomplishment for them. That's light. That's what you already do. So now they'll come in they'll have a whole different type of head start than you had.
You're right.
Even what they feel like they could, the type of deals that they could do or what they accomplish would be different from how you look at it.
Right.
And then imagine they kids
Right.
or your great grandkids, like how they would be if you keep it going. Right. And a lot of people be born into them type of families, like, you know what I mean, where business was going down generations and generations before they came. So that's the reason why they could have them big type of dreams. Like my dad had a company and he had 500 employees, so I could have 1,500.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I could take it to that. You know what I'm saying? But if you never had an employee, like if you employing 10 people, you like, yo, I'm lit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it just depends on, you know, what you used to.
Yeah, your idea.
Just like some people could feel like if they had $1 million right now, it'd change their life. They'd be the happiest people in the world. And there could be some like super wealthy people that even if they had $3 billion, they'd be ready to kill themselves.
Down bad.
And they a billionaire, but ready to kill themselves. And people like, man, I don't got shit. If I had $1 million, I'd be good. These niggas got billions and they ready to kill themselves. But
it's all perspective.
You can't, like if I'm born into a family that's worth 70 billion and now I fucked up all this paper and now we only got 3 billion. I'm ready to give it all away. Like I'm ready to jump off a building or something.
It's like LeBron's son. He's that much more capable because the bar has been set for him, right? LeBron kind of paved that path a little bit. So now for his son to do anything less is kind of like a letdown. But for him to do more, I don't want to say the hard work has been done, but it's that much more possible as well. Like you said, like one thing about it, because I witnessed this personally because my parents weren't business owners. So for me to be in this position, I'm like, I'm on a podcast talking to Cassidy about, you know, you get what I'm saying? So it's a big deal for me where somebody else is like, cool, that's automatic. That's a signing bonus for other folks. It's interesting to look at everybody's starting point.
But that's good too, because everybody ain't trying to chase the same position. You know what I mean? That's good. That's what make the world interesting. If everybody was in the same bag and chasing the same position in the same place, it wouldn't be fun.
Shit wouldn't be fun.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's all about making yourself happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? By feeling like, yo, this avatar that I got, the predicament that I'm in, what can I do? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like when you do that, and you make yourself happy by accomplishing something, that's all that matter. Like, you know what I mean?
Fulfillment.
It might be difficult, you know, like somebody like a Nate Robinson. He like my height. So
Word.
to think like, yo, I want to win a slam dunk competition seems like impossible. Imagine if he was a kid telling people like, I'm gonna go to the NBA and win a slam dunk competition. And he like smaller than everybody. It just don't seem logical. You just don't think that that's possible. Like you like, nah, like nobody probably in your family play basketball. Nobody tall. Like it just don't seem like
it's unfathomable.
It just seem right.
It's far-fetched.
You know what I mean? But if you if you like Vince Carter's son, you come from just people that was already jumping crazy. You already seen your pop jumping through the roof doing all this stuff, and you got them genes, and you younger, and you want to be better. It's like the type of dunks or the type of stuff you try is going to be advanced because you got that history. You got that information from your pop to be able to study to start off better.
And you got a lane to follow.
Just like you can't compare the first people that was rapping to people that rap now. Because the people that's rapping now got all that information, all that history, all of that stuff to learn from to start off in a way better place than the people that first started.
True. Let me ask you, speaking of that, rap then and rap now, with the whole complication and implementation of artificial intelligence and all that, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's around the corner, and not just for music, but just in general.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the question is. What's your opinions on AI and rap right now?
Because I feel like AI is about to start writing verses for people.
They're already cleaning up tracks.
Like you could literally ask it to write. You could probably literally ask it to write you a 16-bar verse, and it would probably do it.
They made with it. It was like Spice and something.
Yeah.
I saw the Drake joint, and it was like, but
That's wild, man.
But I feel like somebody typed in the lyrics with his mind state in mind, and it just filled in the blank as far as sound. I don't know that it wrote that.
All of his music into it and train it to do lyrics like Drake.
I don't know.
That's
like,
wild.
See, I think we in a place where AI is definitely about to play a major part. I think like humans all together are like cyborgs now. We not just regular humans, like we connected to technology. Like you see everybody sitting behind a computer, got their phone at arm's reach at all times. You're not even the same human without your phone. Like you need your phone to call people. Nobody remember numbers no more. You just got their name. Nobody remember directions no more. You just got Navi. Nobody remember addresses no more.
I mean, me right now, I'm over here taking notes. You feel me?
Nobody remember nothing, so they like kind of cyborgs. But with your phone, it make you way more advanced than the old people that didn't have it. Yeah. Like, no matter how smart they was, they could have been the smartest nigga in the world. But if you like a dumb nigga with your phone, you got an advantage. Now you a cyborg.
You got a chance. You got a fighting chance.
I feel like the whole world going in that direction. You know what I mean?
Sheesh.
Yeah, because I'm from the era where it was, you know, like in school they were teaching you, you're not going to always have a device available or a calculator available. Like, yes, that's the fuck we do. You know what I'm saying? I just think
the last people that have to worry about artificial intelligence is the real artists, like the creators. Like, it's going to be hard for AI to duplicate creativity. Like, you know what I mean? Like, with AI, with computers, it has to be information already that exists, and you can program it and put it in the machine. Now, memory, and as far as like getting the information, is way more advanced, like than what humans be on. Yeah. So it can find all of the information in the phone quick. It's like it could do stuff with the information quick, but it has to be the information already have to exist, and you put it in there as a program for it to know what to do. Now, they do got AI that's supposed to be able to learn and create as it go.
Click your flash out, just let you know so your battery don't die.
That's where it gets scary.
They are saying that it's gonna be able to create, but I just think like the artists, and before they be able to come up with the technology to duplicate art is like further. I think the more people that gotta worry about AI is people that do like physical work, stuff that can be programmed easy. Like if you like a cash register, like a
like
like
that
you,
Burger King and shit.
yeah, like that's not no creation. That's like it's easy. You can just program what you want the AI to do, and it could just do it.
It's just processing.
Like yeah, like
But you can't take it from an artist.
even as far as like driving, like you need to see how cars basically driving themselves. Soon you'll be able to AI drive you, do all of the like physical stuff, move stuff. The same way we use like equipment to be able to do stuff that you couldn't do with your regular human strength. It's like give you advantages. But I think I think the last people that got to worry about it is the actual creators. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought about this before, and I don't know if it was me smoking a little too much or just the right amount, but I felt like the main people that have a real future, when you really go, I don't know if it's 20, 40, 50 years in the future, but it's the artists and the athletes, because you can't duplicate the athlete or the artist, right? Like it comes from something. If it's coming from the ether, your previous experience, it's not something that you could just be replicated off an equation. Like I feel like that if you don't have a creative bone in your body, you're not gonna last in the future. You're not gonna last in the world. If it's art, if it's design, if it's structural, if it's whatever it is, if you don't have a creative bone in your body, you will not have a means to create income. And then I think sports is just a primal thing that even when we're all robots, we still gonna miss the clash and the fighting and physical
the personality
altercation.
behind it, the personality, the real actual personality behind it.
Those two things though, art and sports.
But I feel like it's enough of everything in the world where people don't have to even like get an income. Like it's enough in the world for everybody to survive and have everything they need without even working or like, you know what I'm saying? Like generating the income. And imagine if life was like that. Then you wouldn't focus on getting a job just to survive. You would just focus on being creative. So imagine like when our ancestors lived at a time when nobody was struggling. Everybody had everything. Now I don't got to worry about working a 9 to 5 just to survive. I'm going to survive anyway. Now I could just think about being creative or being competitive, like you said, fighting or playing games with each other to see who could win. That's the same thing kids do. Kids don't look at bills and responsibilities. They feel like they got everything. That's why they like to be competitive, play, challenge, fight, play games, do stuff, be creative. Like, you know what I'm saying? Their imagination is like wide open. Right. And imagination is what make you be able to create. Absolutely. So I think the world won't necessarily be worse in all of the ways if AI come. It could be better in ways too. It's just all about how you look at it.
This dude is so incredibly talented at looking at both sides of it.
Yeah,
it
he's really crazy. Good at that. I don't
imagine if you got like old people and you know what I mean, you want to do stuff and you can't really just take care of them 24/7. You don't want to put them in, you know what I'm saying, in a predicament. Or maybe the predicament they in is making them get older and die off faster. They could live a lot longer if they had what they needed. So imagine if it was like AI that they could talk to, build relationships with, do everything for them, take care of them, make sure nothing happened to them, and they super gravy. And you know that the AI is always watching over them at all times and nothing can happen. You know what I mean? Imagine if you had AI babysitters that when you had babies, you could still live your life. You don't got to be there watching the baby all the time, and you could trust in this AI that's going to do everything for your baby the perfect way.
But would the AI be able to be the son?
The AI could, never that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You still gonna need the people.
Yeah.
But it could play a part, you know what I'm saying? It could do stuff to help. You know what I mean? So you gotta worry less about just living and doing stuff. It's like, you know what I mean? Even as far as eating, like we all gotta eat every day, but it's still a process. Like whether you gotta go to the store to go buy it or whether you gotta get the food to cook, it's still like a process and it take time out the day. So imagine if somebody could do that while you just being creative or having fun or just living life, and you could just
That is
eat.
fire.
I think
a
that's the
dope way to
future,
look at
man.
it.
People could handle all of the
Maybe
responsibilities
more
that's
optimistic
needed.
about the future.
Then it would be no more need, like with all of this information that's in the computer. So that means it'll all be in the AI. So now your kids don't got to go to school. You want to learn something, you don't got to go to no college or nowhere. You could just have the AI just teach you. Like, and it's at the right age when you really need to know. So by the time you hit a certain point, you know everything you need to know. AIs will be able to tell your body temperature, whether you emotionally off, whether you feeling angry or sad, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what's this. They'll be able to remember all of the information.
Fucking my mind up.
Just
right
like
now.
your phone do. You like, AI, what's such and such name, or what's the number? Or what remember last week when I was talking to him, what I said to him? Oh, you said this, and they know it by they never mess up. Like, you know what I'm saying? What's what I told myself earlier I was supposed to get from the thing, and the AI just know everything. AI could just be a perfect assistant. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Word. That's a good way to look at it. That really is. Yo, you know what I want to do real quick? I want to take a brief intermission. First and foremost, so you're able to smoke and shit and chill out. But I also want to get into the music a little bit.
Okay.
You got a verse for us or some shit? 'Cause we definitely want to hear some music from Cassidy. We can't go out without hearing some music from Cassidy.
Figure something out.
Okay. All right, so let's go on a brief
Bars always
intermission.
on deck.
If you're sitting in there, make sure you're clicking the subscribe button. We'll be right back. It's a brief intermission. You already know what it is. Yeah, I appreciate whoever is still in the room with us.
Yeah.
2:30 in the motherfucking morning. You know, the dope shit is that people get the opportunity to see this now live, ask questions, be there, be present, and then they also get the opportunity to, just like any other interview, get the clips and get the shit out of it after that. Again, I really was talking about how, Landon, let me get that e-cig, by the way. That shit's become like a staple for me. It's mine now. I had all these other questions, but I feel like the way that the direction this interview went was so much doper. Like we're sitting there talking outside of them. I'm like, yo, this shit for me was like one of those highlight. But I got Cassidy in the motherfucking building. You know what I'm saying?
dope.
Like to be
Glad
able
I
to
can
sit
make
there
that
and
happen, man, for real.
to be able to sit there and listen to the story and then hear the real side of you. You know what I'm saying? Like the other shit you're talking about and your perspective on it is dope. So like I don't even want to talk about the other shit. Now I'm sitting there like you don't want to beat, you want to go a cappella. I got beats too. Like people sent beat packs in for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got beats. We could play some beats. You could tell me if you're feeling the beat. You could go off a beat. We could do it however you want
Yeah,
to
but
do it.
I don't feel like listening, trying to find a beat.
Okay.
It's difficult, man.
Nah, I feel you.
You know what I mean?
I feel you. And you're making beats and shit. So you're just it's got to be like a special type
I
of
be
beat.
producing. I be producing, you mean, here and there. But I really focus on rap.
Yeah.
But I got a whole production team, man. Lago, Crooklyn, Mac, my son.
That's fire.
It's like
First and foremost.
got a team of monsters, man. They got this new project sounding incredible. I think it's the best project of my life.
I was just about to ask that, right? Like I feel like I don't think you're going on a press run for nothing.
Yeah.
Something's coming from it. You know what I mean? Like that's what I was thinking when I was talking to Fred. I'm like, Cassidy's got something up his sleeve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it has to be the case. So you definitely got something up your sleeve.
Crazy, man. Like some crazy records, man.
Come on.
Happy with them, man. This project coming together exactly how it's supposed to. This the year to GOAT, 2023, so it's only right.
It's actually like okay, I got you.
23.
23, yeah.
Hello.
Right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah,
okay.
and it's the year to GOAT, for real.
That I don't know about. So that you got to break down for me.
Is that the
Look it up.
Chinese calendar or something like that? Because they do animals, I believe.
Is it? The year to GOAT.
Hello.
So is the album going to be the year to GOAT? We got an album title yet?
Yeah, Bars is back.
Okay.
Come on.
The Bars has always been with you.
Yeah,
They always been with you since the 4th grade.
yeah.
So you tell me what you want to do with the Bars.
You want to hear something?
I definitely want to hear something. I'm a fan. I gotta hear
thank
it.
you. Come on.
Thanks, man. Said, listen. Shit getting out of order. I put that on my unborn daughter. My money getting longer. My patience getting shorter. I just took a trip from Georgia down to Florida. But normally with a border scale to Fort Lauderdale. I know some atheists that go and find the Lord in jail. On God, they talking to the Lord because they bored as hell. You boys is frail. You ever seen a man die right in front of your face? You ever seen a man alive with a gun in his face? Or a boy that run to jail trying to run in a race? Some niggas got no place to run but still running in place. You ever seen a paralyzed man run from the jakes? You ever turned down a deal, decide to rumble the case? You ever had a genius tell you something dumb to your face? A chick will suck your dick then try to stick a tongue in your face. You ever seen a preteen with a gun on his waist? Or a dude in middle school move a bundle of bass? A chick take it in her butt, then let you come in her face. These Benjamins get me butt and I look young in the face. These sluts are taking in they butt then let you come in they face. These Benjamins get me butt and I look young in the face. These old looking rappers getting something done to they face. Botox shots. Look like they got stung in their face. The Mac go ring, get the shit rung in your face. Now pick a song you want sung at your wake. You a dead man. Where the bread, man? If I come for the cake and you ain't got it, I'ma cock it and put one in your face. I got a text from your ex that said, come and get raped. That bitch ate so much dick her fucking stomach shit ate. But this some shit you might want to debate. The bitch said your dick on a tiny tip. That's why she want to escape. If a nigga runny get chased, I hate to make a boy die. But if a hollow tip from the toy fly, boy, bye.
Come on.
So the buyers are back.
On that,
The buyers are back, man. That's fucking crazy. The way you could just tap into it like that, no beat, just go. That's crazy. That's crazy. Fire. Fire.
Salute to y'all, man.
I
Thanks
appreciate
for having
you.
me.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate you. So what are we looking
That
forward
show
to?
that your work ethic got to be up. I've been on a run, doing a bunch of podcasts. A lot of them is out now. One came out, some came out yesterday, some coming out tomorrow. There's a lot of unreleased ones that I did already.
Okay.
And I've been barring it up on a lot of them.
Yeah.
Plus, I got the best project of my life done. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to do that, work is required. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta have your clip full. You never know. Like, y'all like, yo, you got some bars ready? You just out of nowhere. Like, all right, yeah. Listen. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be prepared at any given time to just give it up. That takes hard work.
Oh yeah. And that's something that they're not gonna be able to hear.
Sure.
That's organic right there.
For sure.
Hello.
But yo, I definitely appreciate you coming through. And lastly, I want like the people to know what could we expect it, because that's what people really want to know.
ASAP. I don't want to put a date on it.
Okay.
Because this time we in with the technology and where we at.
But it's definitely coming out in the
being
year of the goat.
independent, I don't really got no exact date.
Okay.
So was supposed to drop a minute ago, but the project's so special, and I'm putting the finishing touches on it that I don't want to rush it.
Okay.
But that's why I'm on this run, like you said, letting people know that it's coming. Yeah. So expect it any day now. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's coming ASAP.
Fire.
Real soon.
My man, I appreciate you for sliding through.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate y'all, man.
I
Salute.
appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure y'all hitting that like, subscribe button, sharing it. It's the Danza Project episode. Damn it, Landon. What episode are we on?
110, baby.
110.
110. That's a good number, man.
Yes, sir.
Keep shining, being that son to your son, man.
Hello.
My man, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let's go, Landon. Let's cut this off.
Cheers.
Easy.